Chapter 790. Wait, I still have something to ask you. Ling Xiao stopped the longevity grass and asked, "The God's Stone contains a small world. It is a divine weapon and its aura is completely concealed. How did you find out where the God's Stone is?" Ling Xiao was puzzled. He did not understand why the green Qilin heaven-devouring python did not find the God's Stone in the valley, but the longevity grass did. What's so strange about that? I am invincible in this world and have cultivated to the heart of the sword. Although the God's Stone is a divine weapon and its aura is completely concealed, it is still a live target in my heart. But don't worry in this world unless you are a titled supreme. As long as you are careful, no supreme will be able to find out about the God's Stone. The longevity grass said proudly. "You're just bragging." Ling Xiao glared at him, but he was relieved. As long as a supreme could not find out about it, the God's Stone would be of great use in this trip to the demon tribe. As for the longevity grass, Ling Xiao was not surprised. After all, it was a supreme divine medicine from the same era as Duguqiubai. It was not strange for it to have some tricks up its sleeves. Ling Xiao left the God's Stone. He had spent a total of 6 days in seclusion. After leaving the God's Stone, Yu Chongshan had returned from the other 2 tribes with a piece of good news. The Spirit Tribe and Buddha Tribe have agreed to join forces to attack the Demon Tribe. They will depart in 3 days. This time, they are preparing to attack the Demon Tribe. Therefore, the 3 tribes will only send out Supreme Realm and above experts. Yu Chongshan said to Ling Xiao, "How many Supreme Realm experts are there in the 3 tribes? What about the Demon Tribe?" This was the question that Ling Xiao was most concerned about. The Moon Tribe has a total of 6 Supreme Realm experts. This time, they will leave behind 1 Supreme Realm expert and send out 5 Supreme Realm experts. The Spirit Tribe and Buddha Tribe each have 7 Supreme Realm experts. This time, they will send out 5 Supreme Realm experts each. Therefore, there will be a total of 15 Supreme Realm experts. As for the Demon Tribe, Yu Chongshan's eyes were solemn as he said slowly, "On the surface, the Demon Tribe only has 12 Supreme Realm experts. However, according to our estimates, there are at least 20 Supreme Realm experts." Yu Chongshan's words made Ling Xiao's eyes widen. The number of Supreme Being experts in the 4 great tribes was definitely a terrifying number, especially for the Demon Tribe. In the War God continent, most of the Holy Lands didn't have so many Supremes. Perhaps only the legendary War God Temple had so many Supremes. One could imagine that this crusade against the Demon Tribe would definitely be a great battle between Supremes. However, there was no trace of fear in Ling Xiao's eyes. Instead, they were filled with a strong desire to fight. After condensing the true dragon body, his physical body had become extremely terrifying. At this moment, it was definitely not a problem for him to take on a supreme weapon with his bare hands. He might not be a match for titled supremes yet, but it would not be difficult for him to kill ordinary supremes. Moreover, Ling Xiao was also very curious about the tribe of demons. Speaking of which, the tribe of demons should have inherited the legacy of the old goat's father, the demon sage. But why was it invaded by the extraterrestrial demons? Ling Xiao was very puzzled about this and wanted to find out more. 3 days passed quickly. In the sky above the city of the moon, there were 4 other elders with silver hair flying in the wind. They were dressed in silver robes and looked very dignified. They only glanced at Ling Xiao for a moment before closing their eyes. "Let's go." Yu Chongshan's eyes revealed a trace of sharpness as he tore open the void and entered with Ling Xiao. The other 4 great elders also followed in. "Ling Xiao, the 3 great tribes have already discussed this. This time, we will do our best to delay the demon venerables of the demon tribe. Your mission is to destroy the city of demons, especially the demon sage palace." Yu Chongshan slowly said, "Demon sage palace? The 9th chapter of destiny is there. I will do my best." Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of sharpness as he nodded. The 3 great tribes suspected that the demon sage palace was the source of the demon tribe's power. If they destroyed the demon sage palace, the demon tribe's vitality would be greatly damaged. The 3 great tribes didn't have the extravagant hope of completely wiping out the demon tribe this time. They didn't have the ability to do so. The best result was that the demon tribe wouldn't dare to invade the three great tribes again. Yu Chongshan and the other four elders brought Ling Xiao through the turbulence of the void. Their speed was extremely fast and soon, they crossed over 1,000,000 miles and arrived near the demon tribe. Ling Xiao, be careful, Yu Chongshan warned. He reached out his hand and gently tore open space, placing Ling Xiao on the outskirts of the monster tribe. Ling Xiao's body turned into a ray of light as he appeared on top of a towering mountain peak. Behind him was the vast, desolate mountain range, and in the huge valley before him, a majestic black city rose from the ground, emitting an ancient and boundless aura. It was like a huge, primordial, ferocious beast was hibernating within. The city of demons. Ling Xiao also felt an extremely pure demonic aura from the city of demons, causing the wordless heavenly book to become excited. It really is the aura of the demon sage. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he muttered to himself. The city of demons in the distance was like a huge immemorial mountain, emitting a majestic demonic aura. Within the demonic aura, there was also a hint of black demonic aura. Given how heavily guarded the demon city was, it would be exceedingly difficult to break in. Ling Xiao activated the communication treasure that Mu Xian gave him. Ling Xiao, I've been targeted by a demon sovereign in the city of demons. Don't worry about me, leave first. Mu Xian's incomparably anxious voice sounded from the communication treasure. Moreover, it seemed that he had suffered heavy injuries. Where are you? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed sharply as he calmly asked. The city of demons, 30,000 miles north of the demon tribe. Don't worry about me, leave quickly. The demon sovereign in the city of demons is too terrifying. If I'm unlucky enough to die, I hope you can bring the 9th chapter of destiny to my great-grandfather, Mu Tianji. Thank you. Mu Xian's voice contained a trace of decisiveness as he instantly cut off the communication treasure. 30,000 miles north of the city of demons? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he instantly used a secret teleportation technique and sped towards the direction that Mu Xian had mentioned. After condensing the true dragon body, Ling Xiao's physical body was able to withstand the invasion of the void turbulence. Moreover, his primordial spirit was strong enough to tear apart the void in a small area and use the greater teleportation technique. Therefore, a distance of 30,000 miles would have taken Ling Xiao a few hours in the past. But now, the time needed was more than 100 times shorter. In the depths of the barbaric mountain range. Rumble. Mu Xian's figure flew back dozens of feet and smashed heavily into the mountain wall in the distance. Instantly, the mountain peak trembled and suddenly exploded. Huge rocks weighing millions of pounds were sent flying. Mu Xian suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and his face became incomparably pale. Outsider, why don't you run? Why aren't you running? A mere half-step supreme being with the tribulation of 4 symbols has the battle strength of a supreme being. It seems that you're also a peerless genius in the outside world. What I like the most is to suck the blood of you outsiders dry. Chapter 791. The young man with a demonic face was extremely slender. He stood in the air with a mysterious and powerful ripple around him. There were 2 black bat wings on his back. Every time they flapped, it seemed like a hurricane would sweep through the world. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable, do you really think you can kill me? Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Mu Xian wiped the trace of blood from the corner of his mouth. There was a hint of madness in his eyes. Rumble. Mu Xian's body shone brightly. A black deathly aura filled the air. A peerless emperor's tomb appeared behind him, exuding a fluctuation that could devour everything. Come on. If you want to die, let's die together. Mu Xian's eyes were filled with coldness. He suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood essence, and his aura instantly became extremely weak. He punched out, and the Supreme Emperor's tomb exuded a powerful fluctuation, pressing down on Heaven Bat Demon Venerable. The Heaven Emperor's tomb fist of the Tomb Monarch City? It's a pity that your cultivation isn't up to par. The Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable's eyes revealed a hint of surprise. He sneered and immediately sent a palm strike over. It was as if the entire world had fallen into darkness. The palm strike contained the purest dark qi. It instantly hit the peerless emperor's tomb. The heaven bat demon venerable's cultivation suddenly erupted. Rumble! The peerless emperor's tomb exploded. The heaven bat demon venerable's palm strike covered Mu Xian. 6th level supreme realm. So you've been hiding your cultivation. Pa. Looks like I didn't lose in vain. Mu Xian's body shook and a pale smile appeared on his face. If it was an expert in the first 3 levels of the supreme realm, he might be able to contend with him. However, the 6th level supreme realm was 6 levels higher than him. It was impossible for him to contend with him now. Mu Xian's eyes revealed a trace of determination. A terrifying aura surged around him, and he was ready to use a forbidden technique to perish together with his opponent. Suddenly, heaven and earth split open. A young man in a robe whiter than snow stepped out. He was surrounded by a vast dragon's aura. He threw a punch at the heaven bat demon venerable. Terrifying dragon roars filled the air as a total of 36 golden true dragons soared through the air. They intertwined with each other as if forming an extremely terrifying celestial true dragon formation that contained a power that could crush everything. What? Heaven bat demon venerable's expression changed as he felt the power that made his heart palpitate. Without a second thought, his figure flashed as he tried to escape. However, this punch was incomparably mighty. It actually sealed the power of the surrounding void, making it impossible for heaven bat demon venerable to dodge. He could only take it head-on. Bang! The heavenly bat demon venerable unleashed all of his cultivation. His eyes were extremely cold as he slapped out with his palm. When the fist and palm collided, a terrifying force exploded. The 36 true dragons were like 36 unparalleled punches that blasted into heaven bat demon venerable's body, causing his arm to explode into smithereens. Like a meteor, he smashed heavily into a mountain in the distance. The mountains exploded in an instant, turning into dust. With heavenly bat demon venerable as the center, the ground within a radius of several hundred miles caved in. Ling Xiao. Mu Xian's eyes were filled with surprise and joy. He never thought that Ling Xiao would come to save him. What was even more unexpected was that Ling Xiao's current combat strength was so terrifying that he could severely injure Heaven Bat Demon Venerable, who was at the 6th level of the Supreme Realm, with just one punch. Ling Xiao stood in the void as golden clouds swirled around him. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his gaze was calm and indifferent. The punch just now was the power of the 1,000 dragons slaughtering God skill. After condensing the true dragon body, Ling Xiao's 1,000 dragons slaughtering God skill had improved by leaps and bounds. He had condensed 36 true dragons in one go. The 36 true dragons were like the power of 36 supremes. It was extremely terrifying. Although Heaven Bat Demon Venerable was at the 6th level of the Supreme Realm, he was still defeated by Ling Xiao with just one punch. Before entering the time cave, Ling Xiao's true combat strength was only able to kill 1st level or 2nd level supremes. Moreover, he had to use all of his means to do so. However, after entering the time cave, not only did he survive the Earth tribulation and obtain the inheritance of the divine dragon bloodline, he even condensed the true dragon body in one go. In the 9 levels of the Supreme Realm, every 3 levels was a threshold. The 4th level of the Supreme Realm was much stronger than the 3rd level of the Supreme Realm, and the 7th level of the Supreme Realm was much stronger than the 6th level of the Supreme Realm. Ling Xiao estimated his current combat strength. He should be able to defeat those below the 6th level of the Supreme Realm. He should be able to fight to a draw with those at the peak of the 7th to 9th level of the Supreme Realm. Who are you? How can a half-step Supreme Realm cultivator who has only survived the Earth tribulation possess such powerful strength? Heaven Bat Demon Venerable rushed up from the ground. His hair was disheveled, and he was in an extremely sorry state. His eyes were filled with disbelief, and his expression was extremely ugly. He was a 6th level Supreme Realm cultivator, but he was defeated by Ling Xiao with just one punch. If news of this were to spread, it would be a disgrace. However, Ling Xiao's punch was too terrifying, especially the true dragon bloodline that was emitted from it. It made him feel a sense of dread in the depths of his heart. The dragon bloodline naturally suppressed the other demon clans, unless it was a divine beast bloodline of the same level as the dragon clan. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable's original form was a vampire bat. Although it was an Archean variant, it was far inferior to the dragon bloodline. I am Ling Xiao. Are you going to surrender, or are you waiting for me to make a move? Ling Xiao looked at Heaven Bat Demon Venerable indifferently and said. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable's face instantly darkened. Arrogant. He was too arrogant. A mere half-step Supreme Realm Cultivator who had survived the Earth Tribulation actually dared to tell a 9th-level Supreme Realm Cultivator to surrender. It made him feel like he was in a dream. 9 Ultimates Genius. This is definitely the talent of a 9 Ultimates Genius. I didn't expect the gap between me and him to be so huge. Mu Xian's face revealed a trace of a bitter smile. Those below the Supreme Being Realm were all ants. This was because Supreme Being Realm cultivators had merged with the laws of heaven and earth. Their words were law, and every move of theirs contained the immense might of a Supreme Being, far surpassing that of an Emperor or even a half-step Supreme Realm cultivator. However, those below the Supreme Being Realm who could go against the flow and kill Supreme Beings had appeared before in ancient times. They were divided into 1 Ultimates Geniuses to 9 Ultimates Geniuses. If a half-step Supreme Realm Cultivator who had survived the tribulation of 4 symbols could kill a first-level Supreme Realm Cultivator, crossing a small realm, he would be considered a 1 Ultimates Genius. Mu Xian estimated that with Ling Xiao's cultivation, he could only cross 3 small realms and defeat a 3rd-level Supreme Realm Cultivator. Therefore, he should be considered a 3 Ultimates Genius. However, Ling Xiao had only survived the Earth Tribulation. If he could defeat a 6th-level Supreme Realm Cultivator like Heaven Bat Demon Venerable, he would cross 9 small realms and be considered a 9 Ultimates Genius. Chapter 792. Legend had it that all 9 Ultimates Geniuses were the strongest in their era and were destined to break through to the divine realm. Just like the sword demon Duguchiobai from hundreds of thousands of years ago. Legend had it that when he was at the half-step Supreme Realm during the Calamity of 4 Symbols, he had killed a LV9 Supreme Realm expert with his sword and was invincible throughout the universe. However, there were too few 9 Ultimates Geniuses. It was said that for millions of years, Duguchiobai was the only 9 Ultimates Genius. Even the strongest man 10,000 years ago, Sky-Devouring Supreme, was only a 7 Ultimates Genius. Ling Xiao, don't be arrogant. I didn't expect you to reach the 9 Ultimates realm. I believe that the martial arts holy lands in the outside world will be interested in you and will come to kill you at all costs. You're dead meat. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable was extremely cunning. He knew that he was no match for Ling Xiao, so he had already thought of escaping. He looked at Ling Xiao with a sneer and instantly tore through the void to escape. Trying to escape? You'd better stay. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and threw out a simple punch. Crack. Suddenly, heaven and earth shook and the void shattered. A terrifying void storm spread out and forced Heaven Bat Demon Venerable out of the void. Ling Xiao, do you really think I'm afraid of you? At most, you and I will die together. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable's eyes revealed a hint of madness. Moreover, there was an extremely weak heavenly demon aura spreading out from his body. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable, take my punch. If you can take it, I'll spare your life. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said calmly. 1 punch? You've underestimated me. Heaven Bat Demon Venerable's eyes revealed a glimmer of hope. He knew that Ling Xiao's combat strength was extremely terrifying. Since he couldn't escape, he would only die if he stayed. Therefore, he hoped that he could take Ling Xiao's punch. 1,000 Dragons God-slaying skill, Dian Fist. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and he threw out a punch. Roar, terrifying dragon roars sounded in the sky. Ling Xiao's fist radiance was dazzling, like a small sun. 49 golden true dragons came across the sky, forming the Dian formation and pressing down on the Heaven Bat Demon Venerable. 49 true dragons. This was also the strongest punch that Ling Xiao had been able to condense so far. This punch was earth-shattering, and it emitted an invincible aura that could crush everything. Heavenly Bat Blood Sea, 10,000 bats destroy the world, kill. The Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable also felt the threat of death and roared without hesitation. Boom! Crimson light surged around his body, and a huge sea of blood spread out, covering the entire world with a rumble. The sea of blood was extremely viscous, and in an instant, tens of thousands of blood-red giant bats rushed out. Each bat was hundreds of meters in size. They covered the sky and the earth and exuded an extremely ferocious aura. It was as if they wanted to devour all 49 true dragons. The golden fist illuminated the many heavens, and the void shattered. A terrifying spatial tempest swept out, and the tens of thousands of blood-red bats only lasted for a moment before they were reduced to dust by Ling Xiao's fist. The 49 true dragons shot forward with incredible speed, and the Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable's eyes were filled with disbelief as his body exploded. His incomparably sturdy paragon body was reduced to a mist of blood by Ling Xiao's fist. Drops of blood fell to the ground, and the plants and vegetation began to grow madly, as if they had just encountered a good rain. The paragon body contained boundless life force quintessence, and to the plants and vegetation, it was like a good rain. "I won't let you get away with this, Ling Xiao. Just you wait." A blood-red bat floated up into the air, the nascent divinity of the Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable. Glaring venomously at Ling Xiao, he turned to flee. The Heavenly Heaven Devourer Cauldron appeared, unleashing a powerful devouring power that suppressed the nascent divinity of the Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable. Ling Xiao had captured the Demon Venerable in the hopes of uncovering the secrets of the demon tribe. "I never would have guessed that your battle prowess would be this terrifying, Ling Xiao. I'm afraid not even the successor of the War God Hall is a match for you." Mu Xian was also shocked by Ling Xiao's punch. He smiled bitterly as he looked at Ling Xiao. However, he immediately became excited. If Ling Xiao's battle prowess was this strong, then their chances of getting the 9th volume of Heavenly Fate were very high. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and began to search the Demon Venerable's nascent divinity. However, Ling Xiao's brow furrowed as he realized that there was some sort of immense power within Demon Paragon Heaven Bat's nascent divinity. As soon as his nascent divinity was suppressed by the King Heaven Devourer Cauldron, his memories were wiped clean, as if to prevent him from leaking any information. Ling Xiao relayed the information to Mu Xian. "What? You can't get any useful information from the Demon Venerable's nascent divinity? Looks like this demon tribe has hidden themselves very well. They must have a huge secret." Mu Xian exclaimed in shock. Ling Xiao asked, "Did you get any useful information in the past few days? Did the successor of the War God Hall show up?" Mu Xian said solemnly, "The demon city is heavily guarded, and there are paragons there. The auras of outsiders are too obvious. It's almost impossible to sneak in. For the past few days, I've been scouting the outskirts of Demon City. The successor of the War God Temple has already appeared. It seems like he even sent out experts, trying to use secret treasures to conceal their auras and sneak into Demon City. However, they were all discovered. Those experts died extremely miserably, directly eaten alive. Where is the successor of the War God Hall?" Ling Xiao asked. "I'm not sure," Mu Xian said, "but he should be somewhere near the Demon City and is trying to get in. I heard that the successor of the War God Hall is trying to get in touch with some of the top experts in the demon tribe." Ryuumble. It was at this point that an incomparably powerful aura appeared in the sky. Dozens of figures with terrifying auras appeared in the air above the demon tribe, as if they were provoking them. Soon, a dozen or so figures emerged from the demon tribe, all of them paragons. Without any hesitation, they tore through the void and entered chaotic space. Godlight flared as a terrifying battle broke out. Dark clouds roiled in the sky, and the weather changed dramatically. Dozens of paragons were fighting, and even though it was happening in the middle of chaotic space, the Cavern of Time was still sending out powerful magical signs. The three great demon tribes are fighting the demon tribe. There's no time to lose. The demon city is empty. Let's go. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he and Mu Xian tore through the void and headed toward the demon city. Chapter 793. The city of demons was vast and majestic. Because the supreme being experts of the three tribes had joined forces to attack the city of demons, the city of demons was shrouded in a layer of black light that emitted a mysterious and powerful fluctuation. This was the power of a formation that enveloped the entire city of demons. It was as if someone was trying to sneak into the city. Ling Xiao and Mu Xian hid in the heavenly god stone and arrived outside the city of demons. They turned into a speck of dust and observed the situation. It's really heavily guarded. The formation outside the city of demons is definitely the power of an ancient divine formation. It'll be difficult to break through it. Now, let's see what the successor of the war god temple has to do. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he slowly said, "The successor of the war god temple? If he gets there first, he'll probably be the first to obtain the 9th piece of heavenly mandate." Mu Xian said anxiously, "Don't worry, someone's already here." Ling Xiao said faintly as his eyes flashed. A group of powerful figures flew over from the mountain range in the distance. The leader was a young man in golden armor. He was tall and handsome, his black hair fluttering in the wind and his eyes were shining brightly. This young man was naturally the successor of the war god temple. He stood in the void, looking extraordinarily handsome. His entire body exuded an invincible aura that seemed to look down on the world. Beside him, Ling Xiao saw Murong Xiantian and Duan Wuji standing on his left and right. In addition, there was another person who surprised Ling Xiao. It was Zhu Biao, whom he had seen in the Heaven's Pride Tower. Zhu Biao was still holding a roasted lamb leg and eating it as if there was no one around. He didn't care about the gazes of the people around him. Behind the successor of the war god temple, there were 4 old men in silver robes. Although they were only half-step supreme beings, the aura they exuded was extremely powerful. Apart from them, there was also a group of geniuses with imposing appearances and powerful auras. Their faces were filled with confidence and they were all half-step supreme beings. This group of people was led by the successor of the war god temple. They were extremely powerful. Apart from the successor of the war god hall, Buddhist child Kasaipa also arrived in the air. Behind him were several old monks from the greater Thunderclap Temple. They were surrounded by Buddhist light and emitted powerful ripples. Ma Kasaipa wore a white monk's robe and straw sandals. His eyes were pure and limpid while his entire body emanated a wave of Buddhist energy that was as vast as the ocean, making others feel the urge to worship him. However, Ling Xiao could still sense that there were still a few extremely powerful but obscure auras hiding in the surroundings of Demon City, not revealing themselves. Clearly, they were planning to reap the spoils of war. Halt! This is the city of demons. Do you outsiders want to court death? Get out of here! A middle-aged man clad in black robes soared into the air from the city of demons. He looked extraordinarily heroic and had a cold expression on his face. His eyes were filled with an icy sharpness. He stared fixedly at the air of the war god hall and Arhat Kasaipa. Clearly, he knew that these two posed the greatest threat. Demon City's Black Hawk Demon Venerable. I've seen him before. His strength isn't any weaker than the Heavenly Bat Demon Venerable. Mu Xian glanced at the black-robed middle-aged man and said slowly. Ling Xiao nodded his head. This Black Hawk Demon Venerable was also at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. Evidently, he was the Venerable that had stayed behind to guard the Demon City. Ling Xiao wondered if there were any other Venerable Realm experts in the Demon City. Kasaipa, the battle between the 3 major tribes and the Demon Tribe can end at any time. Time is of the essence. Let's attack together and break this ancient god's seal first. After we break through Demon City, we'll use our own methods. The successor of the war god Hall glanced indifferently at Kasaipa and said, "Sure." Kasaipa nodded slightly as a sharp glint flashed in his clear eyes. "Ants like you want to break through my Demon City's great array? You're dreaming." The Black Hawk Demon Venerable coldly glared at the successor of the war god Hall and Kasaipa. Rumble. The successor of the war god Hall didn't even pay attention to him. Instead, a resplendent light spread out from his hand. It was an ancient scroll. After it slowly unfurled, several mysterious runes spread out, emitting a terrifying aura. It was majestic and mysterious, as if it wanted to destroy everything. That's a divine decree. In order to break through Demon City's array, the successor of the War God Hall has really put in a lot of effort. Mu Xian's eyes widened as he sighed softly. The scroll in the hands of the successor of the War God Hall was a legendary divine decree personally written by a divine spirit expert. It contained the will and power of a divine spirit expert and was extremely powerful. Although Demon City's array was also an ancient god array, with this divine decree, the possibility of breaking through the array was greatly increased. The divine decree floated towards Demon City. Numerous ancient runes shone brightly, blazing with incomparable heat. Divine chains of order fell down, containing the power to pierce through everything, pressing down on Demon City. Divine decree. City barrier array, activate at full power. The Black Hawk Sovereign's face turned a little ugly. Clearly, he was extremely fearful of the god's decrees. He snorted coldly. At this moment, Buddha Kasyapa also made his move. Both his palms were as white as jade. 9 resplendent pearls rose into the air, emitting a powerful and mysterious fluctuation. It was as if the power of the 9 heavens was descending towards Demon City. 9 sea calming pearls? This Buddha Kasyapa's arms are really big. Ling Xiao also sighed softly. The sea calming pearls were ancient god artifacts. It was said that there were a total of 24 sea calming pearls, and they were incomparably powerful god artifacts. Ling Xiao could see that the 9 sea calming pearls in the hands of Buddha Kasyapa were all genuine. Although they were a little damaged, the power of god artifacts was still immeasurable. Rumble. Under the suppression of the divine decree and the 9 sea calming pearls, the city barrier array of Demon City began to tremble violently. The light was dazzling and ripples spread out. In the end, the city barrier array could not withstand the power of these 2 supreme treasures and exploded with a loud bang. It was like a small sun had exploded. The resplendent light illuminated the sky, incomparably dazzling. Even the Black Hawk Sovereign, who was presiding over the city barrier array, turned pale and spat out a mouthful of blood. The city barrier array of Demon City is broken. Let's go. The eyes of the successor of the War God Temple flashed. The moment the array was broken, he turned into a stream of light and rushed into Demon City with the people behind him. Buddha Kasyapa was not to be outdone. He rushed into Demon City almost at the same time as the successor of the War God Temple. Chapter 794. Ling Xiao and Mu Xian, who were hiding in the celestial stone, also turned into a ray of light and entered the city. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The successor of the War God Temple and Arhat Kasyapa, as well as many experts hiding in the dark, couldn't hold themselves back any longer and rushed toward Demon City. Strange, why are there so many experts? Even Buddhist Kasyapa is here. Logically speaking, only the successor of the War God Temple should know about the 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate. What do these people want? Mu Xian's eyes were filled with confusion. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he slowly said, I'm afraid they aren't after the 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate. They are after the treasures in the city that we don't know about. Ling Xiao was also a little surprised. The strength of the city was unparalleled, even stronger than the majority of the sacred grounds of the War God continent. If it wasn't for the 3 tribes attacking the city today, the number of people here would have been countless. For them to disregard their lives and covet the city, just what kind of treasure could make them so tempted? Moreover, Ling Xiao discovered that everyone's goal was the same, the Demon Saint Palace at the center of the city. The city was vast and at the very center was a gigantic statue of a demon saint. It was an old man with white hair and beard. His figure was incomparably tall and sturdy. Blood energy filled the sky as he looked at the sky with a domineering aura. Ling Zhao's eyes slightly moved. This was the statue he saw in the holy ground, the demon saint. Behind the demonic saint statue, there was a black demonic saint palace. It looked majestic, exuding an ancient and mysterious aura. Rumble. An incomparably terrifying aura burst out. In an instant, more than a dozen young geniuses were blasted apart by the punch, turning into a mist of blood. Above the demon saint palace, 3 incomparably powerful figures rose up. Their eyes were cold and filled with a monstrous baleful aura. Ants like you dare to touch my city of demons? You're courting death. A cold voice exploded in the sky above the city. Ling Xiao could see that the one on the left was the Black Eagle Sovereign, and the one on the right was the Golden Ape Sovereign. His cultivation was also at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. In the middle was a boy in blood-red clothes. His hair was tied up in 2 braids. He looked very strange and his eyes were filled with coldness. It's the Blood Snake Sovereign? I didn't expect him to stay. Mu Xian exclaimed with a trace of shock in his eyes. There were 4 city lords in the city. The demon city had 3 titled sovereigns. Only the Blood Snake Sovereign, whose cultivation was at the 9th level of the Venerable Realm, was extremely terrifying. Even with the help of the successor of the War God Hall and Arhat Kasyapa, they didn't seem to have much of a chance of winning against a 9th level Venerable and 2 6th level Venerables. But the Sovereign and the Sovereign Kasyapa. Otherwise you. Or. The Sovereign stared at the Blood Snake Sovereign and said slowly, "That's right. Benefactors, as long as you hand over the Sovereign's Sovereign and the Sovereign's blood, you can live. Otherwise you'll die." Kasyapa said calmly, "Pa, what an arrogant brat. You're just a half-step sovereign. Do you think you're the legendary 9 extinction prodigy? You want to kill me? Let's see if you have the ability." The Blood Snake Demon Lord laughed in extreme anger. He immediately pounced toward the successor of the War God Temple and Arhat Kasyapa. "Brother Kasyapa, the Blood Snake Sovereign is mine. The Black Eagle Sovereign and the Golden Ape Sovereign are yours. Let's see who finishes the battle first." The successor of the War God Hall had a sharp glint in his eyes as he charged towards the Blood Snake Demon Venerable. "Then I'll take advantage of you." Kasyapa smiled faintly. His body shone with Buddhist light as he slapped his palm across the sky. The power of his palm spread and enveloped the Black Eagle Sovereign and the Golden Snake Sovereign. Rumble! A God decree appeared in the hand of the heir of the Combat God Temple. It instantly transformed into a stream of light that enveloped the Blood Snake Venerable. "Forbidden God Domain!" shouted the successor of the War God Hall. His eyes flashed and his chi surged. It was as if there was a chaotic chi around him. He threw a punch at the venerable Blood Snake. The God's decree seemed to have turned into a forbidden land, isolating the laws of the world and imprisoning divine powers and supernatural abilities. In this domain, only the power of the body was preserved. "What? Bastard! Even if you can only use your physical strength, you'll still die." The Blood Snake Sovereign's expression turned ugly. He didn't expect the God's decree to be so powerful. It formed a forbidden God domain and could only use his physical strength. This way, the Blood Snake Sovereign's strength was weakened by more than 90%. However, the Blood Snake Sovereign's original form was an ancient ferocious beast, the sun-devouring snake. His physical strength was unparalleled. He thought he was extremely powerful and wasn't weaker than a real divine beast. The Forbidden God domain stimulated his ferocious nature and made him charge towards the Sovereign. Rumble! The Blood Snake Sovereign threw a punch. The terrifying fist aura seemed to condense into a blood-colored sun. It instantly collided with the Sovereign. The heaven and earth rumbled as the void trembled. A chaotic color filled the air. It was eternal and unique. It instantly broke through the blood-colored sun and sent the Blood Snake Sovereign flying dozens of feet away with one punch. Blood Snake Demon Venerable, die. The Sovereign was surrounded by chaotic energy. His black hair fluttered and his gaze was majestic. His fist seemed to shake the heavens. It was as if the Celestial Emperor was patrolling and suppressing all directions. The power of that punch was too terrifying and unstoppable. Devour the heavens and earth. I'm invincible. Kill. The Blood Snake Venerable Beast's face was extremely ugly. He roared and his body shone with a dazzling light. He punched out, and it was like a huge blood-red snake that was tens of thousands of feet long lunged at the successor of the War God Hall. It was the sun-devouring snake. Legend had it that it could even devour the sun. It was extremely ferocious. The blood snake sovereign wanted to refine the sovereign. Rumble. The successor of the war god shrine looked indifferent. His fist was extremely condensed and eternal. It was as if nothing could stop his fist. Even the swallowing Sun Ba serpent instantly exploded into a rain of light under his fist. The sovereign's fist aura was too intense. It was as if the world had turned into chaos when this punch landed. One of the blood snake demon venerable's arms instantly exploded, turning into a bloody mist. This is the chaotic sacred body. I didn't expect the sovereign to have the legendary chaotic sacred body. Chapter 795. The legendary chaotic sacred body was known as the number 1 sacred body in all the heavens. Its physical body was unparalleled, and its divine power was invincible. A fully developed chaotic sacred body could even kill a primordial ancestral dragon, tear a true phoenix apart, and compete with an unparalleled heavenly emperor. It's not the real chaotic sacred body. After all, no one has seen the real chaotic sacred body. I'm afraid that the successor of the war god temple only has a trace of the chaotic sacred body's bloodline. If this bloodline matures in the end, it might become the real chaotic sacred body. Ling Zhao's eyes sparkled as he sighed with emotion. Sacred body of sun, sacred body of Taiyin, sacred body of 5 elements, sacred body of yin-yang, and so on. These legendary sacred bodies were extremely powerful. It could even be said that they contained a trace of the chaotic sacred body's bloodline. If they evolved to the extreme, they might become the legendary chaotic sacred body. After all, the chaotic sacred body was all-encompassing and all-encompassing. It was eternal and immortal. However, the successor of the war god temple had a trace of the chaotic sacred body's characteristics. Therefore, his physical body was extremely powerful, even surpassing the primordial ferocious beast sun-swallowing serpent. Under the Forbidden God Zone, the successor of the war god temple was an invincible expert. Ling Zhao's eyes shone with a trace of sharpness and battle intent. He was eager to see if his true dragon body or the chaotic sacred body was stronger. On the other side, Buddhist Kasyapa was also fighting with the 2 demon sovereigns. 9 Dinghai pearls rose into the sky like 9 mysterious worlds. They exuded a terrifying and majestic aura, suppressing the 2 demon sovereigns. Open! The golden ape demon lord's eyes glinted with sharpness. The iron staff in his hand instantly expanded to 1,000 feet long. This was also a powerful supreme weapon. Surrounded by supreme divine might, it smashed down on the Dinghai pearl. Kill! The Black Hawk demon sovereign was extremely fast. His body was like a golden lightning bolt. A black ancient sword appeared in his hand, and he slashed toward the Dinghai pearls. Clang, clang. The Dinghai pearls shone brightly and became dazzling. They intertwined with each other. Divine spiritual laws bloomed, exuding a terrifying power that enveloped the golden ape demon sovereign and the Black Hawk demon sovereign. The 2 of you are fated with Buddhism. If you are sincere in converting to Buddhism, I can spare your lives. Buddhist Kasyapa said with a faint smile. I'll convert to your grandma. The golden ape demon venerable cursed. His body glowed with dazzling light as he swung his huge iron staff at Kasyapa. How stubborn! This penniless monk has no choice but to use demon-subduing techniques. Kasyapa sighed softly. His eyes flashed and he slammed his palm towards the golden ape demon lord. It was as if a divine mountain was crashing down. It radiated with eternal Buddhist light and contained the power to destroy everything. Great Sumru godly palm. With Kasyapa's soft cry, a huge divine mountain pressed down. The venerable golden ape felt the iron staff in his hand tremble and his arm go numb. His entire body was pressed against the palm. He spat out a mouthful of blood and his aura instantly withered. Little bald donkey, prepare to die. The black eagle demon venerable's eyes turned red and were filled with rage. Black heavenly demonic chi surrounded his body as a huge sword light slashed towards Kasyapa. Heavenly demonic chi? Looks like I can't let you live. Sharpness flashed in Kasyapa's eyes. He also sent out a palm strike, shattering the sword light in an instant. The Black Hawk Demon Venerable was also severely injured by the palm strike. He flew backward and fell into the 9 Dinghai pearls, severely injuring a 6th-level Supreme Realm expert with a single palm. It seems like Kasyapa is also a 6th-realm fighting genius. Mu Xian sighed softly. Seeing the combat strength of the successor of the War God Hall and Kasyapa was a huge blow to him. I'm afraid that's not all. Kasyapa seems to be hiding his strength. However, there's no suspense in this battle. The Blood Snake Demon Venerable, the Black Eagle Demon Venerable, and the Golden Ape Demon Venerable are definitely going to die. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He could feel the dense heavenly demonic qi in the bodies of the 3 demon venerables. Even their primordial spirits had turned dark and evil. They had been completely contaminated by the heavenly demonic qi. Moreover, Ling Zhao could also feel an incomparably dense and dark demonic qi rising from the demon Saint Palace. It made the wordless heavenly book very excited. It seems like the reason why the demon tribe was contaminated by the heavenly demonic qi must be because of the demon Saint Palace. Ling Zhao said slowly. Rumble. Because of the invasion of these outsiders, many powerful demon clan experts rushed out of the demon city and engaged in a bloody battle with these outsiders. There were all sorts of powerful demonic beasts. Many of them were legendary primordial species. Each and every one of them had monstrous qi and blood. Some of them had transformed into human form, while some still retained their powerful demonic beast physique. It was simply a dance of demonic beasts. Ling Zhao and Mu Xian did not come out from the heavenly stone. They were looking for an opportunity to enter the demon's Saint Palace. In the end, Ling Zhao determined that the method to open the demon's Saint Palace was in the hands of the 3 demon venerables. To be exact, it was in the hands of the Blood Snake Demon Venerable. Only by killing the 3 demon venerables could he find the method to open the demon's Saint Palace. Rumble. In the Forbidden God domain, the Blood Snake Demon Venerable was sent flying by the successor of the War God Temple with a single punch. He was in an extremely sorry state, coughing up blood. His body was almost shattered, and one of his arms had turned into a bloody mist. His eyes were extremely ugly and sullen. If it wasn't for the fact that he was in the God-forbidding domain, he would definitely be able to kill the successor of the War God Hall with his cultivation at the 9th level of the Sovereign Stage. However, because of the God-forbidding domain, he was unable to use most of his techniques and was about to be killed. Moreover, the Forbidden God domain contained the law of the gods. It was incomparably powerful and he couldn't break out at all. In here, he could only fight to his death. Bastard, I'll kill you! The Blood Snake Demon Venerable roared. His eyes were filled with anger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Countless resplendent lights instantly shot out from his body as blood arrows soared into the air, turning into a sea of blood. 9 sun-devouring boss serpents soared out from the sea of blood at the same time, emitting ferocious and overwhelming auras. They wanted to completely kill the successor of the War God Hall. The Blood Snake Demon Venerable executed a bloodline forbidden technique and burned his life essence. His strength was terrifying and he exploded with his peak combat strength. You will only end up dead. There will be no accidents. The successor of the War God Temple said indifferently. He punched the sky and chaotic aura covered the sky. The unparalleled fist radiance destroyed everything. It was majestic and mysterious. Rumble. The 9 sun-devouring boss serpents exploded before they could reach the successor of the War God Temple. Together with the Blood Snake Demon Venerable's body, they exploded into a bloody mist in the sky. Swoosh. Chapter 796. On the other side, after the successor of the War God Hall killed the Blood Snake Demon Master, the Black Hawk Demon Master and the Golden Ape Demon Master also died at the hands of Kasyapa. Kasyapa's attack was clean. He used the 9 sea calming pearls to seal the Black Hawk Demon Master and the Golden Ape Demon Master. Then, he used the Great Meru Divine Palm to kill the 2 Demon Masters. Ling Zhao, what realm do you think the successor of the War God Hall and Kasyapa have reached? Mu Xian asked Ling Zhao in shock. Although Kasyapa hid his strength, I think he should be a 7-realm fighting genius. As for the successor of the War God Hall, I can't see through him. He just used the Forbidden God territory and killed the Blood Snake Demon Master with his physical strength. Therefore, I think he should be an 8-realm fighting genius, or even a 9-realm fighting genius. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he spoke slowly. 9-realm fighting genius? You are all monsters. Dugu Qiubai was the only one in a million years. Now, not only you, but also the successor of the War God Hall and Cassiopeia. Mu Xian said speechlessly. Not necessarily. Zhu Biao is not simple either. Other than that, there are 2 other people I can't see through. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he looked at Zhu Biao, who was still gnawing on the lamb leg. It was as if this battle had nothing to do with him. Other than Zhu Biao, Emperor Qing and Qing Yun also appeared in Ling Zhao's mind. Their strength was also extremely terrifying. As for Jian Wushuang and Dugu Shui, their Sword God skill and Sword Demon Supreme Sutra had definitely improved after that battle. Their current strength was probably extremely powerful. These people were all Ling Zhao's strong opponents. In Ling Zhao's eyes, they were at least 7-realm fighting geniuses. Mu Xian originally wanted to ask Ling Zhao who else he couldn't see through. However, his eyes suddenly flashed and he hurriedly said, Ling Zhao, they are about to open the Demon Saint Palace. In the distance, the successor of the War God Hall held the Blood Snake Demon Master's primordial spirit and came to the entrance of the Demon Saint Palace. Do you choose to open the Demon Saint Palace or die? The successor of the War God Hall said indifferently. You will die. Even if I open the Demon Saint Palace, all of you will die. The Blood Snake Demon Master glared hatefully at the successor of the War God Hall. Since you want to die, then I, Chen Quan, will help you. Killing intent flashed through the eyes of the successor of the War God Hall. Divine light exploded from his palm and the Blood Snake Demon Venerable's soul instantly exploded into a bloody mist. A mere Demon Saint Palace dares to stand in my way? The successor of the War God Temple had a dignified look in his eyes. The godly decree flew across the sky and scattered down a dazzling light. The seal that was originally blocking the entrance of the Demon Saint Palace was like a ripple of water, instantly breaking apart. Rumble! The 2 ancient stone doors of the Demon Saint Palace opened. Ling Zhao, let's charge in quickly. Mu Xian urged somewhat anxiously. Don't worry. This Demon Saint Palace was not so easy to enter. Let them go in first. We'll follow behind them and find an opportunity to strike. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He could feel that the Demon Saint Palace was like a ferocious beast with its mouth wide open, waiting for everyone to walk right into its trap. The successor of War God Temple had a flash in his eyes. He led the group into Demon Saint Palace. Buddhist Sun Cassiopeia followed right behind. Charge! Everyone charge! Not only does the Demon Saint Palace contain the Demon Saint's heritage and divine blood, but it also contains a peerless divine medicine. Ha! The Demon Saint's heritage is mine. Get out of my way. The Demon Saint's divine blood is mine. The peerless divine medicine is mine. Anyone who dares fight with me for it will die. Outside the Demon Saint Palace, the geniuses who'd been battling with the experts of Demon City all had bloodshot eyes. When they saw the successor of War God Temple and Buddhist Sun Cassiopeia rush in, they couldn't hold back any longer and rushed into the Demon Saint Palace. Ling Zhao, on the other hand, rode on the celestial stone and transformed into a speck of dust to blend in with the crowd. The interior of the Demon Saint Palace was like a small world of its own. Chaotic mist curled around it. It was a very peaceful small world, surrounded by mountains and rivers, the sun, moon, and stars. It looked incomparably real. In front of everyone was a mountain shrouded in chaos. On top of it floated 3 dazzling golden treasures. An ancient stone tablet, 9 feet wide and 9 feet tall, towered in the chaotic mist. There were many mysterious runes carved on it, containing a mysterious aura of destiny. A drop of golden blood emitted a dazzling light. It was like a golden sun. It was extremely beautiful, and it made people's blood boil just by looking at it. There was also a divine medicine that looked like a ginseng. Its roots pierced into the depths of the void as if it was absorbing the essence of millions of worlds. This mountain looked incomparably mysterious and emitted a powerful divine fluctuation. It was as if there was an ancient divine formation covering it, causing one's heart to tremble. Ling Xiao, that stone tablet has the 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate recorded on it. Hurry, we can't let it fall into the hands of the successor of War God Temple. Mu Xian became excited when he saw the stone tablet in the air. Don't panic. This demon saint palace is very strange. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He wasn't in a hurry to expose himself. For some reason, this world gave him a very unreal and demonic feeling. Let's go. The divine blood and supreme divine medicine are at the top of the mountain. Everyone, let's go. Haha, that stone tablet must have recorded the demon saint's inheritance. Everyone immediately became excited. Their eyes were filled with incomparable excitement. They all leaped up and rushed towards the top of the primal chaos mountain. Buzz. A dazzling light spread out from the chaotic mountain and shone on everyone's body. It seemed to be distinguishing something, but in the end, it dissipated. Everyone felt as if the depths of their soul had been seen through, but it was only for a moment. After discovering that there was no problem, everyone relaxed and rushed towards the top of the mountain. The successor of War God Temple and Buddhist Kasayapa took the lead. Their eyes were filled with sharpness as they reached for the stone tablet. Clang! It was as if a great bell had rung, causing the world to shake. Above the 3 treasures, a resplendent barrier appeared. Runes intertwined, looking mysterious and unfathomable. It was like a divine chain of order, blocking everyone. This was a defensive barrier protecting the 3 treasures. The terrifying fluctuations exceeded the power of a peak supremacy. It was a restriction set up by a god in the legends. This barrier must have been left behind by the demon saint. Kasayapa, let's attack together and break the barrier first. As for the treasures inside, we'll leave it to fate. Chapter 797. Alright, no problem. Buddhist Kasayapa's gaze was rather solemn as well. He could also sense how powerful the barrier was. Rumble. 9 Dinghai pearls floated up from Kasayapa's hand like 9 dazzling suns, shooting towards the barrier. The successor of the War God Temple was still holding the god's decree in his hand. It contained a terrifying battle intent that seemed to be able to shatter everything. The divine decree soared into the sky, and mysterious ancient characters lit up. They were dazzling, and they turned into divine chains of order, penetrating the enchantment. Rumble. The barrier shone brightly in an instant. Mysterious runes lingered around the barrier, emitting an earth-shattering sound as if a lightning tribulation was descending. The combined power of the 9 Dinghai pearls and the god's decree was extremely terrifying. It actually made the layer of enchantment begin to tremble. Everyone, let's go. Break the barrier and the treasure will be ours. The other geniuses were blinded by the treasure and their eyes were blazing. They were afraid that the barrier would be broken and the treasure would fall into the hands of the successor of the War God Temple and Buddhist Kasayapa. They all unleashed their strongest attacks to attack the barrier. Rumble. The terrifying sound shook the heavens and the earth. The scene of countless geniuses attacking at the same time was very spectacular. Powerful weapons, huge fists, sword lights, saber lights, spear lights swept across the sky. The dazzling divine light was unparalleled, causing the barrier to tremble even more. Ling Xiao, when are we going to attack? Mu Xian was getting increasingly impatient. The stone tablet was too important to the Tomb King city. He had lost his cool at this moment. Let's wait a little longer. Ling Xiao's gaze was extremely calm. There was a faint light emitting from his eyes as he activated the wordless heavenly book to sense the mysteries of this world. The demon saint palace shouldn't be so peaceful. There should be at least a supreme being overseeing it. However, this place was incomparably peaceful. There was no one here except for the 3 treasures left behind by the demon saint. They seemed to be waiting for everyone to take them. Everything was too strange. Ling Xiao became more cautious and began to observe everything in front of him. Zhu Biao, who had come with the successor of the War God Temple, made his move. He reluctantly finished the lamb leg, then rubbed his oily hands on his body, and instantly punched out. Crack! Heaven and earth trembled. When Zhu Biao punched out, his entire aura changed. He no longer had that wretched appearance. Instead, he emitted a dignified, ancient, and mysterious aura. When this punch was thrown out, it was as if an archaic divine beast was flying through the sky, ferocious and overbearing. Rumble! The barrier seemed to have been hit by a mountain. It suddenly caved in, and then suddenly burst out with a bright light, sending Zhu Biao flying. Zhu Biao was like a ball. His whole body was round. He suddenly flew back and sat on the ground. It looked very funny. Bastard! You actually dare to block your Master Zhu, and I will fight it out. Zhu Biao was furious, instantly bounced up and smashed a fist towards the enchantment. Rumble! In the sky, there seemed to be a bolt of chaotic lightning. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He saw a young man in green armor in the distance. His black hair fluttered in the wind, his face was like jade, and his body emitted an incomparably terrifying aura. There was a golden divine spear in his palm. It pierced through the void and pierced the enchantment. It was as if hundreds of millions of chaotic lightning bolts exploded at the same time. It was extremely bright. The enchantment suddenly trembled, and a few runes exploded. It seemed to have reached the limit of what it could bear, and in an instant, the golden divine spear was bounced away. Qin Yun! Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. This young man was the mysterious young man he saw in the Heaven's Pride Tower, Qin Yun. He specialized in spear techniques and the Tao of lightning, and was very powerful. Swoosh! Swoosh! Qin Yun's eyes were indifferent, and his body was dazzling. Powerful bolts of lightning fell from the 9 heavens, following the golden divine spear, and blasted towards the enchantment. Ha! The demon saint's divine blood can only belong to me, Zhao Ritian. Scram, you scum! An extremely arrogant voice exploded in the void, causing countless people to glare at him angrily. Zhao Ritian was riding on the void golden eyes beast. He wore a golden robe, and his figure was extraordinary. There seemed to be a bright sun behind him, and a golden ancient sword appeared in his hand. It was engraved with the sun, moon, stars, flowers, birds, insects, and fish, as well as the endless starry sky. It emitted an incomparably terrifying aura. His eyes were blazing as he stared at the demon saint's divine blood among the 3 treasures. The golden ancient sword in his hand slashed down. The heavens and earth trembled, and the void seemed to be drowned in a sea of fire. The golden ancient sword was extremely terrifying, and it suddenly slashed on the enchantment. The enchantment shook violently, and countless runes exploded. In an instant, it was extremely bright. This guy really has great luck on him. Ling Zhao's gaze was a little strange. Zhao Ritian's strength seemed to have increased, and the golden ancient sword in his hand was actually a broken divine weapon. It was extremely powerful, and Ling Zhao did not know where this guy found it. Rumble! With the addition of Zhu Biao, Qin Yun, and Zhao Ritian, as well as the successor of the War God Shrine and Buddhist Kasyapa, they all unleashed their powerful attacks on the enchantment. Countless runes began to shatter, and the enchantment's power began to weaken. It would not be long before the enchantment was completely shattered. Ling Zhao estimated that even a titled supremacy would not be able to break the enchantment because it contained powerful divine law. However, the divine decree, the 9 sea calming pearls, Zhu Biao's boxing gloves, Qin Yun's divine spear, and Zhao Ritian's golden ancient sword were all considered divine weapons. They possessed unparalleled power, and the enchantment was almost unable to withstand it. Second Master, the demon saint's inheritance in the holy ground has already been snatched away by Ling Zhao's damned mount. That guy won't be here, right? If he's here, won't we fail again? Zhao Ritian secretly asked the Second Master as he attacked the enchantment. The Second Master sneered and said, "What are you afraid of? Don't you see how many people are here? The successor of the War God Shrine, Buddhist Kasyapa, and even that damned fatty and the young man in green armor are not to be trifled with. If that little goat dares to come, do you think they'll just watch it get the treasure?" Second Master, you're absolutely right. The demon saint's divine blood must be mine. No one can take it away from me, Zhao Ritian said emotionally. Don't worry. Although the sun god sword in your hand is a little broken, it's still a supreme artifact. Second uncle will definitely help you get the demon saint's divine blood of these 3 treasures. Second uncle said heroically. Zhao Ritian was touched and said, Second master, you're so good to me. Rumble. At this moment, a goat with shiny fur that looked like black satin suddenly appeared in the sky above the chaotic mountain. Its body was very strong, and it looked like a calf. The goat's face looked even more wretched than a human face. It waved an ancient scepter in its hand, and the enchantment instantly shattered. Chapter 798. Everyone was stunned. The successor of the war god shrine, Cassiopeia, Zhu Biao, Qin Yun, and Zhao Ritian, the 5 geniuses, had joined forces and wielded their supreme divine weapons, but they were still unable to break the barrier. In the end, this strange old goat appeared and broke the barrier in the blink of an eye. It's Ling Zhao's mount. That despicable old goat obtained the demonic saint's inheritance in the holy ground. The scepter in its hand must be the demonic saint's treasure. Everyone, let's attack it together. We must not let it obtain the 3 treasures. Zhao Ritian almost roared out. His eyes were filled with anger and frustration. What he feared would happen. Previously, Zhao Ritian was still worried about whether the old goat would come here. In the end, the old goat really did come and broke the barrier with a wave of its hand. It wanted to snatch the 3 treasures. What? This old goat obtained the demonic saint's inheritance? Everyone trembled. Their eyes were about to pop out. This old goat looked so wretched. What did it do to obtain the demonic saint's inheritance? Boom. The successor of the war god shrine reacted the fastest. His eyes were filled with sharpness as he threw a punch at the ancient stone tablet. If the old goat were to grab the stone tablet, it would definitely be hit by the successor of the war god shrine. The old goat rolled its eyes and gave up on the stone tablet. It directly kept the demonic saint's divine blood and the divine medicine. Boom. The successor of the war god shrine's fist landed on the stone tablet. The stone tablet instantly burst out with dazzling light. Ancient runes spread out, as if it contained the life and death of a world. It was incomparably mysterious. Old goat, hand over the demonic saint's divine blood and the supreme divine medicine. Otherwise, you'll definitely die. Zhao Ritian glared at the old goat and said. Even Qin Yun, Zhu Biao, and the other geniuses surrounded the old goat. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent. They couldn't tell the old goat's cultivation, but they felt that it was at most a half-step supreme being. They had worked so hard for so long, but the old goat took the fruits of their labor. How could they not be angry? Zhao Ritian, do you think that Ling Xiao didn't teach you a lesson enough? Scram, you bunch of trash. This place is a treasure that the demon sage left for me. If you don't leave now, don't blame me for not telling you when you die here. The old goat glanced at Zhao Ritian from the corner of his eyes, then sneered at the crowd. Too arrogant. Bastard, it's just an old goat. Is it worthy of the demon saint's inheritance? Let's kill it and make it into a stew. Then, we'll snatch the demonic sage's inheritance from it. Kill this arrogant old goat. Everyone was infuriated by the old goat. Their eyes were filled with incomparable coldness as they shouted one after another. Kill! Someone shouted and took the lead to charge at the old goat. Rumble! An incomparably terrifying palm came across the sky, containing a terrifying aura. It was an old man in a black robe who wanted to be the first to kill the old goat. Heh, you bunch of trash. You can't even catch up to my shadow. How dare you snatch the treasure from me? The old goat chuckled. His figure flashed and he dodged the palm print. His speed was like a ghost. It was so fast that no one could catch his afterimage. Everyone, let's kill him together. Zhao Ritian roared. With the sun god sword in his hand, he took the lead and charged at the old goat. Rumble! The sun god sword emitted an extremely bright light, as if it was a sun in the sky. It was so bright that it could turn everything into ashes. The blazing sword radiance slashed at the old goat. Zhao Ritian, let me tell you. Don't be arrogant in front of me. When I'm arrogant, even I'm afraid. You want to kill me with a broken sword? Is your head kicked by a donkey? The old goat said arrogantly to Zhao Ritian. At the same time, he used his extreme speed. It was as if he was teleporting in the void. The blazing sword radiance of the sun god's sword couldn't catch up with the old goat. Whoosh, whoosh. Powerful auras swept across the sky towards the old goat. Qin Yun, Zhu Biao, and many other geniuses were aiming for the demonic saint's divine blood and supreme divine medicine in the old goat's body. They wanted to kill him completely. However, the old goat's speed was too fast and dazzling. After appearing for a brief moment, it would instantly teleport to another location. On the other side, the descendant of the war god temple and Buddhist Kasyapa were fighting for the mysterious tablet. Kasyapa, give this tablet to me and I'll help you get the other 2 treasures. How about it? The descendant's eyes flashed as he said flatly. This tablet has an affinity with Buddha. Why don't you give it to me and I'll help you get the other 2 treasures? Kasyapa chuckled in response. The Thunderclap Temple wants the 9th chapter of the Heaven's Will, but it's useless, right? The descendant said flatly. Whether it's useful or not, I'll take it back for Buddha to see. Kasyapa smiled. If that's the case, then let's fight. Let me see what level your Vairocana Sutra has reached. The descendant's eyes flashed sharply as he unleashed a simple punch towards Kasyapa. Boom! This punch contained a monstrous battle intent. Primordial mist permeated the area. His physical body was peerless. The fist intent was ferocious as it headed straight for Kasyapa. It seems like your heaven-opening scriptures of the divine god of battle has reached the greater success stage. If that's the case, allow me to test your strength. Kasyapa chuckled and also unleashed a palm strike towards the descendant. Rumble! Above the void, an ancient divine mountain rose up. This was the legendary godly Mt. Shumi of the ancestral court of Buddhism. It contained boundless divine might and was eternal and immortal. Ma Kasyapa's Mount Sumeru divine palm was derived from the concept of immortal Sumeru, suppressing eternity. This palm seemed light, but it contained unparalleled power. Bang! The void shook and instantly shattered. Spatial turbulence gushed out. The descendant of War God Temple and Kasyapa both trembled and retreated at the same time. Ling Xiao, this is the best time to attack. The descendant of War God Temple and Kasyapa are fighting. We can take the tablet and leave. No one can stop us. Mu Xian hurriedly urged. His eyes were filled with anxiety. I'm afraid not. Even if we get the tablet, it'll be difficult to leave. Ling Xiao said with a sharp glint in his eyes. What do you mean? Mu Xian's expression changed. Chapter 799. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had just activated the power of the wordless heavenly book when he realized that something was wrong. It turned out that this small world was formed by the power of illusion and the source was the illusory demonic ancient tree. The illusory fiend ancient tree had already reached the peak of its growth stage and was about to reach its mature stage. Through the wordless heavenly book, Ling Xiao saw the illusory demonic ancient tree towering in the void. Its black branches reached deep into the void and were absorbing the energy of heaven and earth in the void. This entire small world was fake. Only the chaotic sacred mountain and the 3 treasures were real because they were left behind by the demon sage. Even the illusory demonic ancient tree could not get close to them. It was funny that these geniuses were fighting for their lives but did not know that their lives were hanging by a thread. What? The illusory demonic ancient tree. Mu Xian was stunned by this news. With the foundation of the Tomb King city, he naturally knew what the illusory demonic ancient tree meant. The illusory demonic ancient tree was like the tree of life to the extraterritorial demons. After the extraterritorial demons died, their primordial spirits could be reborn in the illusory demonic ancient tree. Hence, the extraterritorial demons called the illusory demonic ancient tree. Ling Xiao roughly understood why the demon tribe and the other 3 tribes had gone against each other and betrayed the oath they had made. The experts of the demon tribe had been controlled by the illusory demonic ancient tree. In other words, they had been taken over by the extraterritorial demons on the illusory demonic ancient tree. Ling Xiao could vaguely see that the demon sage palace was a mysterious space and that the sacred mountain was the seal that suppressed the illusory demonic ancient tree. Now that the illusory demonic ancient tree had broken away and everyone had entered to attack the boundary, the seal's power had been greatly weakened. It would not be long before the illusory demonic ancient tree was born. A illusory demonic ancient tree at its peak was comparable to a titled supreme. Once it reached maturity, even a true godly spirit realm expert would not be able to do anything to it. Then what should we do? Mu Xian's expression turned ugly. I'll send you out of here first. I'll think of a way to get the stone tablet, but before that, I really want to meet the illusory demonic ancient tree. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed with a sharp light as he spoke slowly. He could already feel that the wordless heavenly book was trembling with excitement. It was exuding a wave of incomparable desire. Speaking of which, Ling Zhao had devoured 2 phantom demonic ancient trees. One was in the secret realm of immortality in the Eight Desolates region, while the other was in the heavenly stone in the ancient kingdom of Azure Dragon. If he could devour this illusory fiend ancient tree, he would definitely be able to obtain a supreme secret technique. Currently, the sky-swallowing secret skill, teleportation secret skill, ancestral dragon secret skill, and true phoenix secret skill that Ling Zhao had obtained were all marvelous. However, Ling Zhao still lacked a true killing secret skill. The 108 secret skills in the wordless heavenly book contain the power of the law of heaven. They were extremely mysterious and were the origin of martial arts. Therefore, Ling Zhao looked forward to the appearance of each secret skill. What? Ling Zhao, are you crazy? The phantom fiend ancient tree was at the peak of its growth period. Even titled supremes were powerless against it. What could he possibly do? If we're leaving together. Mu Xian's body trembled as he stared at Ling Zhao in disbelief. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Ling Zhao smiled faintly. He didn't want anyone to know about the secret of the wordless heavenly book. Therefore, it was better for Mu Xian to send him out first. Buzz. The divine stone flashed and instantly turned into an undetectable ray of light that left the demon saint palace. After sending Mu Xian out, Ling Zhao returned. Old goat, you bastard. Why didn't you tell me that you were coming out of seclusion? Ling Zhao's voice suddenly entered the old goat's mind, startling him. Ling Zhao, you're here too? Where are you? I'm telling you, hurry up and leave this place. This demon saint palace is very strange. There's a phantom fiend ancient tree suppressed inside. The old goat hurriedly said in his mind. Do I need you to tell me that? I already knew about it. Moreover, that phantom fiend ancient tree is about to be born. I'm afraid that everyone here won't be able to escape. Do you want to do something big again? Ling Zhao rolled his eyes. The old goat indeed knew that there was information about the phantom fiend ancient tree here. Do something big? The old goat's eyes instantly lit up at the mention of this. You're pretty strong. You should have advanced to the supreme realm, right? What's the point of playing with them? Why don't we think of a way to devour the phantom fiend ancient tree? Ling Zhao smiled faintly as a trace of radiance flashed in his eyes. He had long noticed that the old goat's strength was unfathomable after obtaining the demonic saint's inheritance. At the very least, the old goat should have the strength of a supreme being. This was why the old goat was able to dodge Zhao Ritian, Qin Yun, and Zhu Biao's attacks so easily. Moreover, what surprised Ling Zhao was that the old goat's teleportation secret technique had already been cultivated to the greater realm. His advancement was even faster than Ling Zhao's. He could teleport freely in the void like a ghost. I'm only at the first level of the supreme realm. The old man doesn't want me to advance too quickly, so he suppressed my strength. Devour the phantom fiend ancient tree? Actually, I also have this idea. It's just that I can't do it on my own. However, with you, this plan is feasible. The old goat smiled wretchedly. Alright, then think of a way to add fuel to the fire. Let the phantom fiend ancient tree take action and chase these guys out. It'll be easier for us to take action. Ling Zhao said slowly. The secret of the wordless heavenly book could not be exposed. They could only take action after these people were all out. Don't worry, that's easy. The old goat smiled. There's another problem. If we attack the phantom fiend ancient tree, can you seal the demon saint's palace? I suspect that the demon city's supremes have already been possessed by the extraterrestrial demons. If something happens to the phantom fiend ancient tree, I'm afraid they'll rush back to save it. There are at least 3 titled supremes in the demon city. Ling Xiao reminded. I've also thought of this problem. Sealing the demon saint's palace and stopping them for a while is still possible. Moreover, as long as we kill the phantom fiend ancient tree, the extraterrestrial demons in the supreme's bodies will be rootless. I'm afraid it'll be easy to destroy them. Who knows, I might even be able to subdue the demon tribe. The old goat replied. Very good. Ling Xiao nodded his head and relaxed. After he finished discussing with the old goat began to take action. Rumble. The demon saint's scepter in the old goat's hand flashed and instantly emitted an ancient and mysterious aura. A bunch of small fries. I don't have time to play with you. The old goat sneered. Suddenly, the demon saint's scepter shone brightly and rose into the sky. It emitted an incomparably terrifying fluctuation and smashed towards the huge chaotic divine mountain. Chapter 800. Rumble. The chaotic godly mountain trembled violently and emitted resplendent rays of light. Runes spread out from the mountain, causing the entire world to tremble. The heavens and earth trembled as the void shattered like a mirror. How could there be a complete small world? This was a chaotic space of nothingness. A black tree that was over 1,000,000 feet tall stood between heaven and earth, exuding an extremely terrifying demonic aura. The branches and leaves pierced into the void as if they were absorbing the energy of the heavens. The black demonic tree's crown was like a dome that covered the sky. Above the demonic tree, there were balls of light that hung on the tree like fruits, as if they were nurturing some kind of strange life. Above the demonic tree, the primal chaos divine mountain exuded a sealing power, binding the demonic tree firmly in this space. However, the power of the seal was getting weaker and weaker, as if it could break at any moment. The old goat used the demon saint's scepter to break the illusory power of the phantom demon ancient tree, but at the same time, it weakened the sealing power. This is the legendary illusory demon ancient tree? Someone exclaimed in shock. His eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. No wonder the demon tribe is so strange. I'm afraid they have all been possessed by the extraterrestrial demons. That's terrifying. The ancient tree of the illusion demon is at least as strong as a titled sovereign, right? Everyone was terrified, as if they had discovered something extremely terrifying. Their bodies began to tremble. At this moment, the illusory demon ancient tree let out a roar like that of a ferocious beast. It instantly shook the sky. It was extremely terrifying. The chaotic chi in the void was violently spreading. The sealing power emitted by the primal chaos sacred mountain shattered instantly. The illusory demonic ancient tree towered in the chaotic void. It looked terrifying, like a supreme giant demon. Branches as thick as dragons shot through the air like bolts of black lightning. They actually pierced through the bodies of several dozen geniuses in an instant. They let out extremely miserable screams, but they stopped abruptly in an instant because their bodies were sucked dry in an instant and then turned into ashes. Whoosh whoosh. The thick tree branches also extended towards Zhao Ritian, Qing Yun, Zhu Biao, the successor of the war god temple, and Buddhist Kasyapa. The terrifying demonic aura caused everyone to tremble and turn pale. Bastard! That bastard demon saint actually suppressed an illusion fiend ancient tree here? Is he trying to get us killed? Even that scarlet dragon war god fellow had no way to exterminate the phantom devil ancient tree. He was simply playing with fire. Rin, hurry up and leave. We can't stay here any longer. Second uncle's voice roared in Zhao Ritian's heart. Needless to say, Zhao Ritian knew that the phantom ancient tree was not to be trifled with. The sun god sword in his hand was dazzling and instantly burst out with an incomparably brilliant light, cutting off a branch in front of him. Then he looked at the old goat with some reluctance. Riding the void golden-eyed beast, he pierced through the void and escaped from the demon saint palace. Rumble. Zhu Biao and Qin Yun did the same. They also cut off the branches of the phantom devil ancient tree that were coming towards them and used powerful means to escape from the demon's Saint Palace. They were all decisive people. Knowing that the phantom devil ancient tree was not to be trifled with, they would only be waiting for death if they stayed. Kaseba, leave the demon's Saint Palace first. You and I will study this stone tablet together. The successor of the war god temple said to Kasayapa with a sharp glint in his eyes. All right. Kasayapa also knew that the situation was critical and that it was not the time to continue fighting. Bush. Suddenly, several huge tree branches pierced towards the successor of the war god temple and Kasith. At the same time, one of the branches swept towards the stone tablet. For some reason, the phantom devil ancient tree seemed to be particularly interested in this stone tablet. Previously, it could not obtain the power of the seal. Now that the seal was broken, the first thing it did was to snatch the stone tablet. Bastard, you are courting death. The successor of the war god temple had a cold glint in his eyes. In an instant he leaped into the sky and threw out a punch. The chaotic fist print was unparalleled and contained the power to crush everything. It shattered the tree branches in front of him and rushed towards the stone tablet at the same time. Kasayapa also cut off the tree branches in front of him and rushed towards the stone tablet without caring about anything else. Rumble. The phantom devil ancient tree seemed to be enraged. Heavenly demonic chi spread out like a black ocean. A tree branch covered the sky and blocked out the sun. It wanted to stop the successor of the war god temple and Kasayapa from snatching the stone tablet. This is my chance. At this moment, Ling Xiao steered the celestial stone and silently arrived beside the stone tablet. Ling Xiao's eyes lit up. Suddenly, a bright light spread out and instantly sucked the stone tablet into the celestial stone. However, the celestial stone was instantly exposed after the stone tablet was taken away. The successor of the war god temple, Kasayapa, and even the phantom devil ancient tree all locked onto the celestial stone with furious expressions. Rumble. The successor of the war god temple's chaotic fist print, Kasayapa's Mount Meru divine palm, and the phantom devil ancient tree's tree branches all slammed towards the celestial stone. In an instant, the sky trembled and chaotic mist exploded. The terrifying power was extremely powerful. Rat, hand over the stone tablet. Otherwise, even if you run to the ends of the earth, I will kill you with my own hands. The successor of the war god temple said in a cold voice. Benefactor hiding in the dark, the stone tablet is not yours. Hand it over. Otherwise, even if Buddha is merciful, you will still be furious. Kasayapa's voice was also cold. It was no wonder that they were angry. After all, they had fought with their lives to break the city's defensive array, kill the 3 demon sovereigns, and break the barrier. They had paid a great price to find this stone tablet. In the end, the person hiding in the dark took advantage of the situation and directly snatched the stone tablet away. Rumble. As the terrifying attacks descended, the celestial stone shone brightly and emitted a mysterious power of runes, blocking all the attacks. However, Ling Xiao wasn't sure how strong the celestial stone could block, so in an instant, he came out of the celestial stone and put it away. Ling Xiao. The successor of the war god temple looked extremely gloomy. He didn't expect the person hiding in the dark to be Ling Xiao. Chapter 801. Gentlemen, the illusory demonic ancient tree is about to go berserk. When the time comes, you won't be able to leave even if you want to. Don't blame me for not warning you. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. In an instant, his figure flashed as he used the shifting secret technique and moved to the side of the old goat. Rumble. At Ling Xiao's original position, a few thick tree branches stretched out from the void. A terrifying demonic aura exploded, causing the void to tremble violently. The illusory demonic ancient tree seemed to be completely enraged. Its huge trunk trembled as if the world was shaking. Terrifying demonic aura enveloped the area as the tree branches traversed the void. Numerous powerful extraterritorial demons descended from the illusory demonic ancient tree. There were hundreds of extraterritorial demons, all of them at the supremacy realm. Their auras were incomparably terrifying. The dark demonic aura caused the depths of everyone's soul to tremble uncontrollably. There was no difference in the terrifying attack as it enveloped everyone. Even the descendant of the war god temple and the Arhat Kasayapa's expression turned ugly in the face of such a terrifying attack. Ling Xiao, I'll leave the stone tablet with you. I'll remember you. I'll come and get it myself. The descendant of the war god temple coldly glanced at Ling Xiao. The god's decree instantly shone brightly, blocking all the attacks that were directed at the descendant of the war god temple. Then, it swept up the descendant of the war god temple and disappeared from the space. Kasayapa also glanced at Ling Xiao indifferently. Under the protection of the 9 sea calming pearls, he left the demon saint palace. As for the remaining experts, they were not so lucky. They didn't have the cultivation of a supremacy realm, nor did they have the combat strength of a supremacy. In front of the illusory demonic ancient tree, they were like ants. One by one, the branches pierced through their chests and turned them into nourishment for the illusory demonic ancient tree. They let out miserable cries before their souls completely dispersed. Rumble! The demon saint's scepter shone brightly, instantly shattering all the branches that were coming at them. Ling Xiao, do you have any ideas? This illusory demonic ancient tree is unexpectedly strong. Destroying a few branches and devouring some of the demonic aura won't do anything to it. The old goat asked while blocking the attacks of the phantom fiend ancient tree. This illusory demonic ancient tree is indeed very powerful. However, if I can enter its body, I will be able to completely exterminate it. How about this? You block the phantom fiend ancient tree's attacks and attract its attention, I'll find a way to enter its body. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he spoke slowly. If he could enter the body of the illusory fiend ancient tree, with the terrifying restraining power of the wordless heavenly book, it would not take long for him to suck the entire tree dry. However, this illusory fiend ancient tree was extremely terrifying. Wanting to enter the tree's body would not be that easy. All right. The old goat immediately agreed. The demonic saint scepter in his hand seemed to have a special attraction to the phantom fiend ancient tree. It was always able to infuriate it. Rumble! The illusory demonic ancient tree went completely berserk. Countless branches swept across the sky, each strike containing the power of a supreme being. It was incomparably terrifying. The sky was filled with black heavenly demon chi. Numerous powerful heavenly demons pounced towards the old goat. They were extremely powerful. Hee hee, a bunch of demons. I'll let you have a taste of my power. The old goat sneered as his eyes revealed a trace of sharpness. Rumble! The demonic saint scepter in his hand shone brightly. It was dazzling as if it had set off a void storm. Runes filled the air. Behind the old goat, there seemed to be a scene of thousands of monsters galloping towards the illusory demon ancient tree. Boom! A violent explosion swept out in all directions. Countless heavenly demon chi exploded and then condensed again, pouncing towards the old goat. Using the power of the demonic saint scepter, the old goat was able to block the attack of the phantom fiend ancient tree. Ling Xiao took the opportunity to leave the demonic saint palace using the realm-breaking shuttle. Because the phantom fiend ancient tree had locked onto Ling Xiao in the demonic saint palace, he had to leave. After leaving the demon saint palace, Ling Xiao hid in the celestial stone and quietly came back in. The phantom fiend ancient tree was 1,000,000 feet tall. It towered in the chaotic void. Its roots and branches pierced into the depths of the void, absorbing the power of other spaces. Without the suppression of the chaotic sacred mountain, the power of the phantom fiend ancient tree became even more terrifying. The old goat was blocking the attack of the phantom fiend ancient tree. Ling Xiao had to take this opportunity to find a way to enter the body of the phantom fiend ancient tree. Otherwise, the old goat would be in danger. The huge body of the tree was like a heavenly pillar. It was thicker than a mountain. Its bark was like an old dragon, emitting a black luster. The divine stone was like a speck of dust. It landed on the phantom fiend ancient tree like an ant. There's a layer of heavenly demon chi intertwined to defend it. It won't be easy to break through. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he carefully observed the trunk of the phantom fiend ancient tree. the heavenly demon chi intertwined on the trunk. There was a layer of mysterious power of law. It would not be easy to break through the defense of the phantom fiend ancient tree. At the most critical moment, if his attack failed, the phantom fiend ancient tree would go berserk and lose his second chance. He had to break through the defense of the phantom fiend ancient tree in one blow. Old goat, come to my side. I'm going to break through the defense of the phantom fiend ancient tree. However, the moment I break through the defense of the phantom fiend ancient tree, I'll definitely attract its attention. You have to block one of its attacks for me, and I'll be able to enter its body. Ling Xiao transmitted his voice to the old goat. With the heaven-devouring sword's power and the 7 limits divine technique of devouring the heavens and earth, Ling Xiao was confident that he could break through the illusion fiend ancient tree's defense with one strike. All right, no problem. After the old goat heard Ling Xiao's voice transmission, he slowly moved closer to Ling Xiao. Boom! Ling Xiao's body emitted a blazing golden glow. With the sky-devouring sword in his hand, his eyes suddenly became incomparably sharp. At that moment, the longevity grass appeared out of nowhere and said to Ling Xiao, I advise you not to use the martial art you used to kill the Ziwei stellar child. Instead, use the longevity incantation. With the power of the longevity sword chi, you'll definitely be able to break through the defense of the phantom fiend ancient tree. Longevity incantation? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he glanced at the longevity grass. Chapter 802. Good. Let's try it with the longevity art. Ling Xiao glanced at the longevity grass and nodded. For some reason, Ling Xiao chose to believe in the longevity grass. Swoosh! The sky-devouring sword shone brightly, exuding an incomparably sharp light. Ling Xiao activated the longevity art and the sky-devouring sword began to emit an endless stream of longevity sword chi. At the tip of the sky-devouring sword, a crack began to appear in the void. It was filled with a sharp chi that could pierce through everything. Boom! Ling Xiao instantly rushed out of the divine stone and pierced the illusory demonic ancient tree's crown with his sword. Like a dazzling Milky Way piercing through the void, the sky-devouring sword was incomparably sharp. Ling Xiao's spirit was condensed to the extreme. His essence, chi, and spirit were united, and he was one with the sword. He stabbed the illusory demonic ancient tree in an instant. Rumble! Like a piece of craft paper being pierced, the nomological defense formed by the intertwined heavenly demon chi was instantly shattered. The terrifying sword chi blasted a large hole in the trunk of the illusory demonic ancient tree. The illusory demonic ancient tree seemed to be completely enraged. It was intolerable for a small bug to injure its body. The hole that was blasted open by the longevity sword chi squirmed rapidly, as if it was about to heal. Countless black branches, like black lightning, shrouded Ling Xiao. Old goat! Ling Xiao yelled loudly. Coming! The old goat laughed mischievously. The demon saint's scepter in his hand instantly shone brightly, forming a blazing barrier that blocked all the branches outside. Ling Xiao turned into a stream of light and plunged into the body of the illusory demonic ancient tree. Boom! The large hole was sealed in an instant. Countless black chi from the illusory demonic ancient tree shrouded Ling Xiao, as if it wanted to kill him completely. Wordless heavenly book, come out. Ling Xiao said indifferently, a sharp glint flashing in his eyes. Rumble! The wordless heavenly book, which had been suppressed by Ling Xiao, could no longer hold back. It rushed out from between Ling Xiao's eyebrows, blooming with dazzling light. Runes flashed and rays of light filled the air. The wordless heavenly book slowly rotated, forming a huge devouring vortex around it. Boom! The black liquid that surged towards the wordless heavenly book was instantly swallowed by it. Roar! The illusory demon ancient tree also sensed the existence of the wordless heavenly book. It emitted a wave of anger and fear, and began to tremble violently. Within the tree trunk, waves of black demonic liquid surged like an endless ocean. It wriggled violently as if it wanted to expel Ling Xiao and the wordless heavenly book. But the wordless heavenly book was like a corpse, firmly attached to the phantom demon ancient tree and began to crazily devour the tree's power. Rumble! The old goat held the demon saint's scepter and turned into a stream of light that entered the illusion fiend ancient tree's body. Ha! Heaven-devouring secret technique, devour! The old goat laughed loudly. His eyes were filled with excitement. Rumble! The demon overlord's scepter floated above the old goat's head and turned into a bright barrier that protected the old goat. Meanwhile, the old goat summoned the King Heaven Devourer cauldron and began devouring the power of the Mirage Devil Tree. As for Ling Xiao, he sat down cross-legged beneath the wordless heavenly tome, drawing on his heaven-devouring secret magic to absorb the quintessence of the area. The body of the illusory demon ancient tree contained the purest heavenly demonic energy. Ordinary people, even supreme being experts, would be instantly corroded into nothingness. However, the heaven-devouring secret skill was capable of devouring everything in the world. Even the power of the illusion devil ancient tree could be devoured. The trunk of the illusory fiend ancient tree began to wither at a speed visible to the naked eye, and then turned into ashes. Ling Xiao and the old goat continued to move deeper into the tree, devouring the pure heavenly devil energy and destroying the structure of the illusory fiend ancient tree. Unfortunately, the combined power of Ling Xiao and the old goat wasn't even 1/10,000th of what the wordless heavenly tome was capable of devouring. With the wordless heavenly tome as the center, the vortex of devouring grew larger and larger, until not even a blade of grass could grow in its wake. No matter how much the phantom fiend ancient tree struggled, no matter how angry it roared, Ling Xiao and the old goat had penetrated deep into its body and were wantonly stealing its power. There was nothing it could do. Rumble! The area of primal chaos began to tremble, as though someone were attacking the demon overlord's palace. Is the illusory fiend ancient tree really that afraid of death? Yangqiet. Those 3 titled paragons came back pretty quickly. We must speed up. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he spoke slowly. We have to destroy the illusory fiend ancient tree before those 3 titled paragons enter the demon overlord's palace. Otherwise, we'll be like turtles in a jar. The old goat said through gritted teeth. How long can the demon overlord's palace last? Ling Xiao asked with a frown. I used the last bit of demon overlord's power that the old man left behind to seal the demon overlord's palace, but I'm afraid it can only stop those 3 titled paragons for a day, the old goat said. A day? That's enough. Since this illusory fiend ancient tree wants to die, let's send it on its way. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and he began to use all his strength to activate the wordless heavenly tome. Rumble! The wordless heavenly tome shone brightly, and the devouring vortex became even more terrifying. A large amount of heavenly devil energy in the illusory fiend ancient tree began to be devoured. After the wordless heavenly tome purified the heavenly devil energy, although 99% of it was devoured by the second stroke wordless heavenly tome, there was still a little left for Ling Xiao. Even a little bit of pure energy caused the heavenly devouring true liquid in Ling Xiao's Dantian Sea of Qi to surge. Ling Xiao's Dantian Sea of Qi was now like a small world, and the heavenly devouring true liquid was like a vast ocean. As the power of the illusory fiend ancient tree was being devoured, the heavenly devouring true liquid in Ling Xiao's Dantian Sea of Qi began to surge at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, the heavenly devouring true liquid in Ling Xiao's Dantian Sea of Qi was completely filled. Ling Xiao activated the power of the heavenly devouring secret skill and began to compress the heavenly devouring true liquid. Finally, 99% of the energy was removed, leaving only a faint layer of heavenly devouring true liquid. Rumble! Chapter 803. Ling Xiao compressed the heaven-devouring liquid once again. After 9 rounds of compression, Ling Xiao's Dantian and Sea of Qi were completely perfected. There was no way to fuse any further. Ling Xiao knew that the heaven-devouring liquid in his body had been polished to perfection. He could go through the black water tribulation anytime he wanted. The 1,000,000 zhang tall illusion fiend ancient tree had already been reduced to ashes by the tens of thousands of zhang tall tree. The illusory demonic ancient tree trembled violently as if it was about to shatter the chaotic void. In the end, a black ball of light floated toward Ling Xiao and the old goat. It exuded a strange temptation as if it wanted to pull Ling Xiao and the old goat into an illusory realm. Give it up. Give it up. If you give it up, you will obtain eternal life and become the supreme being of the world. Sleep. Release your control over the wordless heavenly book, and I will grant you eternal life. Stop this stupid action. Whether it is the Jiutian goddess or the power to dominate the world, I will grant you both. A strange fluctuation floated toward Ling Xiao and the old goat's consciousness. The mysterious illusory power contained a strange law fluctuation. It was as if it could pull even titled supreme beings into an illusory realm and sink them into eternal oblivion. You're courting death. Ling Xiao snorted. The wordless heavenly book trembled slightly. In an instant, a dazzling light sprinkled down and woke Ling Xiao and the old goat up completely. The black ball of light screamed and tried to escape, but it was swallowed by the wordless heavenly book in an instant. It turned into an incomparably pure primordial spirit energy and merged with Ling Xiao's primordial spirit. The black ball of light was the collective consciousness of the illusory demonic ancient tree. Although the illusory demonic ancient tree was extremely terrifying and could give birth to extraterrestrial demons, it seemed to be restricted by some law of heaven and earth. There was no way for the illusory demonic ancient tree to condense true intelligence. The collective consciousness was like an instinct. It could use illusory power and was equivalent to the soul of the illusory demonic ancient tree. If even the collective consciousness had appeared, it meant that the illusory demonic ancient tree was truly afraid. Ling Xiao did not show any mercy. He continued to activate the wordless heavenly book and began to wantonly devour the power of the illusory demonic ancient tree. Meanwhile, those consciousnesses were all devoured by Ling Xiao, turning into the purest primordial spirit power, making Ling Xiao's primordial spirit stronger and stronger. Devouring the illusory demonic ancient tree was definitely a great opportunity for Ling Xiao. Otherwise, based on his current cultivation speed, it would probably take him a few more years of hard work to overcome the tribulation of black water and tribulation of heavenly wind. After all, Ling Xiao's accumulation was too deep. The power of the calamity of black water and calamity of heavenly wind must be incomparably terrifying. The old goat's aura began to surge. It would take hundreds of years for a supreme being to advance by a single level. The ninth heavenly layer of the Supreme Being realm could be said to be one level higher with each step. Every bit of improvement was incomparably difficult. After obtaining the demon saint's inheritance, the old goat's strength had reached the first level of the supreme stage. Now that it had devoured the illusory demon ancient tree, its strength had begun to skyrocket. Rumble! The shockwaves attacking Demon Saint Palace were getting stronger and stronger, but Ling Xiao and the old goat turned a deaf ear to it. They continued to devour the phantom demon ancient tree and cultivate. Unknowingly, when all the consciousness of the illusory demon ancient tree was devoured by Ling Xiao, the shockwaves attacking Demon Saint Palace stopped. Ling Xiao and the old mountain goat ignored him and continued to cultivate. Outside Demon Saint Palace, three figures with incomparably terrifying auras stood in the sky above Demon Saint Palace. Their eyes were filled with confusion. The three figures each had an unfathomable aura. They exuded a bloody aura that caused the void to tremble. They were the three city lords of the demon tribe: Demon Venerable by Zay, Demon Venerable Divine Crane, and Demon Venerable Domineering Tiger. Demon Venerable by Zay was dressed in a white robe. He was a middle-aged man with an elegant face and extraordinary temperament. Demon Venerable Divine Crane was a cold young man in a black robe. Demon Venerable Domineering Tiger was a muscular man with a mace in his hand. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Yu Chongshan and the experts of the other two tribes descended upon Demon City and surrounded the three demon venerables. Each of them was bathed in blood and filled with murderous intent. The three of you, surrender. The Demon City's supremes have all been killed. Only the three of you are left. Yu Chongshan looked at the three demon venerables and said indifferently, "Apart from Yu Chongshan, There was also a middle-aged woman with an extraordinary temperament. She was the tribe leader of the spirit tribe, Lingji. The other was a man in a gray robe with his hands clasped together. He had a buzz cut and exuded a Buddhist aura. He was the tribe leader of the Buddha tribe, Ma. The three tribes besieged Demon City. Demon Venerable by Zay, Demon Venerable Divine Crane, and Demon Venerable Domineering Tiger led more than 10 Supremes to fight. Originally, both sides had suffered losses and could be said to be evenly matched. But for some reason, the three Demon Venerables seemed to have gone mad. They rushed out of the encirclement and returned to Demon City to besiege Demon's Saint Palace. As for the remaining Demon City Supremes, without the three titled Demon Venerables, they all died in the hands of Yu Chongshan, Lingji, and Ma. After a discussion, the three tribes decided to take advantage of this day to destroy Demon City in one fell swoop. When they arrived at Demon City, they saw the three Demon Venerables attacking Demon's Saint Palace. But not long after, they suddenly stopped, and a trace of confusion appeared in their eyes. Bai Zai, Divine Crane, Domineering Tiger, are you deaf? Betraying the original oath, damn it. Today, I will use your lives to pay tribute to the spirit of the war god in heaven. The tribe leader of the spirit tribe, Lingji, glared at the three Demon Venerables and said coldly, War god. These two words seemed to have touched a nerve in the hearts of Bai Zai, Divine Crane, and Domineering Tiger. The three of them regained their senses and looked at each other with a bitter smile on their faces. Three tribe leaders, I am sorry. Our Demon City has indeed let down the war god and Demon's Saint Palace. Who would have thought that in a dream of 1,000,000 years, we would be the loyal guards of the war god, but who would have thought that we would be reduced to the thugs of the heavenly demons? How sad, how lamentable. Bai Zai's eyes were clear as he looked at Yu Chongshan, Lingji, and Ma. His eyes were full of guilt and pain. A dream of 1,000,000 years? What do you mean? Yu Chongshan's eyes widened as he stared at Bai Zai. Brother Yu, don't listen to their nonsense. So many people from our three tribes have died in their hands. They must die today. Lingji said coldly, We do deserve to die, but please wait for a few more days. When the young lord has completely destroyed the phantom demon ancient tree, we will definitely die to atone for our sins. Bai Zai said sincerely, Young lord? Phantom demon ancient tree? What are you talking about? Chapter 804. Bai Zai sighed, It's a long story. Our four tribes were originally the descendants of the four divine generals under the war god. Our demon city had the heavy responsibility of suppressing the illusion devil ancient tree and waiting for the young lord's return. Now, the illusion devil ancient tree and the young lord are in the Demon Saint Palace. What? The illusion devil ancient tree is in the Demon Saint Palace? Who is the young lord you speak of? Yu Chongshan was shocked and quickly asked. 1,000,000 years ago, before the Demon Saint died, he sealed the illusion devil ancient tree in the Demon Saint Palace. He also told us that when the young lord returns, it will be the day of the illusion devil ancient tree's destruction. But in the long years of 1,000,000 years, the demon tribe had multiplied for countless generations, and their care of the illusion devil ancient tree had become somewhat lax. Finally, 10,000 years ago, the illusion devil ancient tree found an opportunity to possess a powerhouse in the demon city. In the following 10,000 years, most of the people in the demon city were possessed by the illusion devil ancient tree. We were controlled by the illusion devil ancient tree, and at the same time, gained strength from the illusion devil ancient tree, causing the demon tribe's strength to soar rapidly. At the same time, we began to attack the other three tribes. The mission given to us by the illusion devil ancient tree was to destroy the three tribes and break the flowing time temple. So the three tribe leaders, the changes in the demon city in the past 10,000 years were because of the illusion devil ancient tree's control. When we were fighting, the illusion devil ancient tree suddenly encountered a fatal danger and called us back. So we desperately came back, wanting to break the Demon Saint Palace and rescue the illusion devil ancient tree. But we did not expect that the illusion devil ancient tree would be destroyed by someone. When the illusion devil ancient tree was destroyed, The trace of the heavenly demon original soul in our sea of consciousness dissipated, and at the same time, we also felt a trace of the young lord's aura. Now, the young lord is in the demon saint palace, and I believe it won't be long before the young lord appears. Bai Zhe sighed softly. His voice was very calm as he explained the cause and effect. The reason why the three of them could recover their intelligence was because they were already supremes when they were controlled thousands of years ago. So the illusion devil ancient tree had no way of erasing their intelligence, and could only suppress their consciousness. The others were not so lucky. Even if they were not killed by Yu Chongshan and the others, they would be dead for sure after the phantom demon ancient tree died. Even though Yu Chongshan, Ling Ji and Maha were all titled supremes, they were still dumbfounded. The demon city actually sealed a phantom fiend ancient tree? They had never heard of such a secretive matter. No wonder the demon city suddenly changed 10,000 years ago and started to attack the three major tribes. The three tribes had once captured experts from Demon City and discovered the heavenly demonic chi after killing them. However, they had no idea why the experts from Demon City would be contaminated with the heavenly demonic chi. Who would have thought that there would be an illusory devil ancient tree? The young master you speak of, could it be the son of the beast saint? Yu Chongshan's eyes trembled as he slowly asked. That's right, it's the demon saint's son. The ancestors of our city of demons have always said that when the young lord arrives, it will be the day of the destruction of the illusory devil ancient tree. Who would have thought that the young lord would actually appear this time, kill the illusory devil ancient tree, and even save us? Bai Zhe sighed softly. Who knows if you're telling the truth? Brother Yu, don't listen to them. I think they're making up such a ridiculous story because they have nowhere to run. Ling Ji said with a cold gaze. She was full of resentment towards the Demon City because Ling Ji's father died in the hands of the experts from Demon City. Therefore, she had a strong enmity in her heart. Leader Ling Ji, if the three of us really want to leave, I'm afraid you won't be able to stop us? If you still have doubts about what I said, why don't you wait for the young lord to come out of seclusion? Then you'll know everything. Bai Zhe smiled. Ling Ji's face froze, and she snorted coldly without saying anything. She also knew that Demon Venerable Bai Zhe was telling the truth. The three Demon Venerables were extremely strong, even stronger than Yu Chongshan, Ling Ji and Ma. If they really wanted to leave, the three major tribes would not be able to stop the three titled supremes. Sister Ling Ji, don't be impatient. I think Lord Bai Zhe's words are most likely true, but we can't believe it so easily. How about we wait for a while? Yu Chongshan's eyes flashed as he looked at Ling Ji and persuaded her. In the end, Yu Chongshan, Ling Ji, and Maha discussed and agreed to wait for the people in the Demon Saint Palace to come out of seclusion. This battle was considered to have come to an end temporarily, and they had waited for half a year. Inside the Demon Saint Palace, the illusory demonic ancient tree's 1,000,000 feet tall body had completely turned into ashes. The wordless heavenly book floated in the void, shining brightly as it devoured the remaining heavenly demon chi. The old goat and Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the void to cultivate. After devouring the power of the illusory demonic ancient tree and cultivating for half a year, the old goat's cultivation had broken through to the third level of the supremacy realm. In this half a year, the heaven-devouring true liquid in Ling Xiao's body had been completely perfected, and even the power of his primordial spirit had grown to the extreme, establishing an extremely solid foundation. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the void, and there seemed to be a black ocean in his body, roaring and vast, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. In between his eyebrows, his primordial spirit was wrapped in endless heavenly wind, as if it was being cut into pieces. The calamity of black water and the calamity of heavenly wind. Ling Xiao actually intended to go through these two calamities at the same time. The black water was completely condensed from the heavenly Tao law, and it wreaked havoc in Ling Xiao's Dantian Qi Si, as if it wanted to turn the heaven-devouring true liquid into nothingness, eroding the power of the heaven-devouring true liquid bit by bit. The heavenly wind in his consciousness Si was like an unparalleled sharp saber that fell on Ling Xiao's primordial spirit, and it felt as if his soul was being cut into pieces. That kind of extreme pain would have driven an ordinary person crazy. The calamities of the four symbols were each more terrifying than the last. Even the genius disciples of the martial Tao Holy Lands would tremble in fear and be extremely cautious when going through each calamity. Who would be as daring as Ling Xiao to go through two calamities at the same time? Rumble. The calamity of black water and the calamity of heavenly wind were formed from the power of law. Even if Ling Xiao's physical body was strong, his strength was unparalleled, and his primordial spirit was incomparably sturdy. He had no choice but to persevere. Waves of black waves spread out. Ling Xiao had gone through the earth calamity and condensed the true dragon body, and his physical body was already extremely sturdy. However, at this moment, cracks appeared on his physical body, and even between his eyebrows. The heaven-devouring true liquid in Ling Xiao's Dantian Qi Si began to dry up, and the light in his primordial spirit began to dim. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the void, as if he was dead, and there were no signs of life. This guy won't play himself to death, right? The old goat stared at Ling Xiao and muttered softly. He also felt that Ling Xiao was too bold to go through two calamities at the same time. Chapter 805. Rumble. In the end, when the old goat almost thought that Ling Xiao was really dead, an incomparably majestic vitality gushed out from Ling Xiao's body. It was as if millions of lightning bolts had descended. Ling Xiao's body emitted an incomparably resplendent light. In his dantian, streaks of golden heaven-devouring true liquid surged, emitting a divine fluctuation. It was incomparably mysterious. That energy had already surpassed the category of true energy and true essence. It could be called pseudo-divine energy. Once he passed the supremacy tribulation, he would be able to completely cultivate divine energy and become a supreme supremacy. In the sea of consciousness, Ling Xiao's primordial spirit sat cross-legged in the void. A resplendent divine sun rose behind him, emitting an incomparably pure light. Pure yang primordial spirit. After passing the tribulation of heavenly wind, Ling Xiao's primordial spirit had finally transformed into a pure yang primordial spirit. Ling Xiao's body was shrouded in golden light. His vitality was monstrous, and there were actually 3 Tao flowers blooming above his head. They were dazzling, pure, and flawless. These were the 3 essence, qi, and spirit flowers. It represented that Ling Xiao's physical body, primordial spirit, and primordial spirit had all reached a kind of extreme. Ling Xiao opened his eyes, and 2 rays of divine light shot out, causing the void to tremble violently. Not bad, not bad. You passed the tribulation of black water and tribulation of heavenly wind in one go. As long as you settle down for a while and pass the tribulation of blazing fire, you will be able to reach the supremacy realm. I almost thought that you were done for. The old goat walked around Ling Xiao and clicked his tongue in praise. It's just the tribulation of 3 symbols. You, on the other hand, actually managed to walk in front of me. 3rd level supreme supremacy realm cultivation. Looks like it won't be long before you fully recover your strength. Ling Xiao glanced at the old goat. Although the old goat's cultivation was only at the 3rd level supreme supremacy realm, Ling Xiao could feel that there was an incomparably terrifying energy in the old goat's body. Once it erupted, it would probably cause even a titled supremacy to tremble in fear. After all, the old goat's father, the demon sage, was a supremacy realm expert. Even if he only left a portion of his strength, it was already terrifying enough. Ling Xiao felt that if the old goat completely digested that energy, he might be able to obtain a titled supremacy realm expert. Who am I? I can do whatever I want in Tai Moon Grotto. Not to mention supremes, even titled supremes can't do anything to me. The next time we meet the successor of the War God Temple, I'll help you teach them a lesson. The old goat said with a proud smile. The illusory demon ancient tree was completely devoured, leaving behind 36 resplendent illusory demon tree cores. Each of them was like a full moon, dazzling and pure. Ling Xiao and the old goat each took 18 illusory demon tree hearts. They contained the most boundless vitality and were comparable to quasi-divine medicine. They could be used to refine elixirs or consumed directly. If consumed, even a supreme being expert could extend his life by 1,000 years. What happened outside? Ling Xiao looked at the old goat and asked. He didn't expect that half a year had passed since he started cultivating. He thought that the titled supremes of the demon city would attack, but he didn't expect that there would be no response. Hee, I'm afraid you didn't expect it either. The 3 titled supreme martial artists of the City of Demons actually still retained their original intelligence. By killing the illusory demonic ancient tree, we have saved their lives. Now we have 3 more super fighters, ha. The old goat laughed proudly. He already knew what happened outside the Demon Saint Palace. After waiting for half a year, Yu Chongshan, Ling Ji, and Maha were getting impatient. Bai Zai, I think you're just making things up. It's been half a year and there's still no movement from the Demon Saint Palace. You won't even let us in to take a look. I think you're hiding something. Ling Ji looked coldly at Demon Venerable Bai Zai. Yu Chongshan smiled bitterly and said, Bai Zai, if what you said is true, it shouldn't be a problem to let us in to take a look, right? It's been half a year, how long do we have to wait? The young lord is cultivating in the Demon Saint Palace. No one is allowed to enter. Demon Venerable Bai Zai shook his head and looked very determined. That's right. Unless the young lord comes out of seclusion, no one is allowed to enter the Demon Saint Palace. Demon Venerable Divine Crane and Demon Venerable Tyrannical Tiger also said firmly. Brother Yu, why are you talking so much nonsense with them? Just rush in. I suspect that there must be some shady business going on in the Demon Saint Palace. The so-called young lord is just an excuse they made up. Ling Ji snorted coldly. 3 clan leaders, what I said is true. If you want to deal with us, we have no objections. But if you dare to disturb the young lord's cultivation, don't blame us for being impolite. Bai Zai said slowly with a sharp glint in his eyes. Demon Venerable Divine Crane and Demon Venerable Tyrannical Tiger also walked up and stood side by side with Demon Venerable Bai Zai. They looked at Yu Chongshan and the other 2 with vigilance. The atmosphere instantly became very tense. What are you trying to do? The 4 major tribes are of the same breadth and branch, and yet they're fighting each other. What a great ability! A lazy voice suddenly sounded. Buzz. The Demon Saint Palace shone brightly and the 2 ancient doors slowly opened. Ling Xiao and the old goat walked out together. Young friend Ling. What are you doing here? Yu Chongshan saw Ling Xiao at a glance and asked in surprise. He thought that Ling Xiao had left half a year ago. He didn't expect Ling Xiao to be in the Demon Saint Palace. And who was the old goat? The old goat looked very sturdy. His black fur was shiny and his goat face was filled with a lazy smile. His small eyes were slightly squinted and emitted rays of light. In the old goat's hand was a black scepter that looked very ancient. Buzz. The moment the old goat appeared, the scepter in his hand emitted a resplendent light and formed a mysterious connection with the huge Demon Saint statue in front of the Demon Saint Palace. The Demon Saint statue trembled slightly and a strange fluctuation spread out. The Demon Saint seemed to have opened his eyes and his gaze fell on the old goat. The old goat's expression was a little complicated and sad. He looked at the Demon Saint statue and said, Old man, you can go in peace. I will complete all your burdens for you. Bang. The Demon Saint's scepter shook slightly on the ground and a strange light shrouded the entire demon city with the old goat as the center. Rumble. In the entire demon city, all the creatures controlled by the illusory demon ancient tree or possessed by the extraterritorial demon exploded and died completely. In the entire demon city, tens of thousands of people disappeared completely in an instant. Demon Venerable Bai Zai, Demon Venerable Divine Crane, and Demon Venerable Tyrannical Tiger no longer hesitated and knelt down respectfully in front of the old goat. Greetings, young master. Chapter 806. Although the 3 demon sovereigns did not know the old goat, they recognized the Demon Saint's scepter. The Demon Saint's scepter emitted an aura that made their blood boil. When the Demon Saint's scepter appeared, it represented the appearance of the leader of the demon race. Hundreds of millions of demons submitted to him. That boundless divine power directly caused all the cultivators who had been possessed by the celestial demons to vanish. The demon saint's son? Yu Chongshan, Lingji, and Maha were shocked as they looked at the old goat. They did not expect that this ordinary-looking goat would be the demon saint's son, the young lord that the three demon sovereigns spoke of. Patriarch Yu, long time no see. Ling Xiao looked at Yu Chongshan and smiled slightly. Little friend Ling Xiao seems to have obtained a great opportunity in the demon saint's palace. You actually passed the black water tribulation and heavenly wind tribulation in one go. Yu Chongshan looked deeply at Ling Xiao and said with emotion, when the three tribes besieged the city of the moon, Ling Xiao had just passed the earth tribulation. They did not expect that in just half a year, he would pass two tribulations in a row. This cultivation speed made Yu Chongshan gasp in amazement. I was just lucky. Ling Xiao smiled. You are the demon saint's son? The three of them said that they were controlled by the illusory demon ancient tree. Is that true? Lingji looked suspiciously at the old goat and said, Everyone, the four tribes are as close as a family. We protect the god of war together. The city of demons is indeed a little special. Back then, the demon saint suppressed the illusory demon ancient tree. However, after 1,000,000 years, the illusory demon ancient tree found a loophole and controlled the people of the city of demons. Therefore, the damage caused to the three tribes was not their intention. Fortunately, the illusory demon ancient tree has been killed by us. I hope that the four tribes can be reconciled in the future. The old goat looked at the three patriarchs and smiled faintly. It's easy for you to say. Even if they were controlled by the illusory demon ancient tree, their hands are stained with the blood of our tribesmen. They must pay the price. Lingji said with some resentment. Bai Zhe looked at the old goat and said, Young lord, as long as you say the word, we three brothers will stretch our necks out and kill ourselves to appease the world. That's right. Young master, we three brothers will bear the consequences of our own mistakes. Please give the order. Domineering Tiger said in a muffled voice. The old goat didn't look at the three demon sovereigns. Instead, his gaze landed on the Ganoderma mountain. He flatly said, What kind of price does the spirit clan leader want them to pay? Let's do as the three demon venerables said. Let them commit suicide. As long as they die, our three tribes will no longer pursue Demon City's crimes. Lingji said indifferently. At this moment, Ling Xiao finally took a good look at this Lingji clan leader. Lingji was dressed in a palace dress. She had a graceful figure and looked to be in her 30s. She was quite beautiful, but at this moment, her face was cold and her lips were very thin. She gave people a feeling that she was harsh and ungrateful. Her tone was rather aggressive, insisting that the three demon venerables commit suicide to atone for their sins. Do the chiefs of the Moon tribe and the Buddha tribe have the same opinion? The old goat's smile turned cold as he glanced at Yu Chongshan and Ma. Ling Xiao knew that this was the sign of the old goat's anger. Lingji's words had probably angered him. Yu Chongshan frowned and looked at Lingji, saying, Sister Lingji, where it's possible to let people off, one should spare them. The demon venerables of Demon City have already died in our hands. It can be considered as revenge for those people. These three city lords were only controlled by the illusory demon ancient tree. They were not free to do anything. I think we should just forget about it. Ma also nodded and said, That's right. Now that Demon City has suffered heavy losses, if the three city lords commit suicide, then the demon tribe will really be destroyed. Moreover, outsiders have gathered in the Flowing Time Cave and are about to open the Flowing Time Shrine. Our four tribes need to guard the Flowing Time Shrine. Spirit Clan leader, please be lenient. They must commit suicide. My father, my grandfather, and countless experts of my spirit tribe have all died in the hands of Demon City. I must avenge this. What does the destruction of their demon tribe have to do with me? Today, the three of them must die. Lingji was incomparably stubborn. She did not even give face to Yu Chongshan and Ma as she looked coldly at the three demon venerables. Young master, please give the order. I am willing to commit suicide to atone for my sins. Bai Zhe Demon Venerable's face was also slightly angry as he cupped his hands and bowed to the old goat. Young master, what do you mean by the destruction of our demon tribe has to do with her? This wicked woman's mouth is too annoying. Young master, you should let us commit suicide to avoid being bullied by this wicked woman. Domineering Tiger Demon Venerable said in a muffled voice, his face full of anger. Young master, please die. Divine Crane Demon Venerable also said coldly. Obviously, Lingji's words had angered the 3 demon venerables. However, Demon City was in the wrong and they could not vent their anger, so they only asked for death. Domineering Tiger, who are you calling a wicked woman? If you have the ability, you can call me that again. Do you believe that I won't cut off your tongue? Lingji's gaze turned cold as she stared at Domineering Tiger Demon Venerable. Wicked woman. Wicked woman. Wicked woman. So what if I called you that? If young master did not allow me to do it, I would have chopped you to death with my axe. Domineering Tiger Demon Venerable's bell-sized eyes widened as if flames were about to spew out from his eyes. You're courting death. Lingji exuded a cold aura as if she was about to go berserk. All of you shut up. The old goat suddenly roared. His voice was like thunder, shocking everyone. The 3 of you are all members of my demon tribe. I did not agree to your deaths, so who dares to kill you? You have to admit your mistakes, but we, the demon tribe, cannot be trampled on by others without resistance. The old goat glared at the 3 demon venerables. Although he was scolding the 3 demon venerables, his words were all directed at Lingji. Lingji's face instantly turned ugly. Spirit tribe leader, you keep saying that the demon tribe has killed many of our spirit tribe members. Then why didn't you come to take revenge? Why did you wait for me to destroy the illusory demon ancient tree before you came here to show off? Do you think my demon tribe members can commit suicide just because you say so? I respect your spirit tribe's ancestor, the spirit elder, who was one of the 4 divine generals of the god of war like my father. But who do you think you are? Do you have the right to criticize us? The old goat stared at Lingji and sneered. He was not polite at all. The old goat's words instantly caused Lingji's face to turn green. The son of the demon sage. The demon sage has been dead for millions of years. You, a black-furred beast from God knows where, dare to call yourself the son of the demon sage? Don't think that just because you have the demon sage's scepter, you are the son of the demon sage. My spirit tribe will not admit it. Since they are not willing to commit suicide, then the demon tribe can wait for my spirit tribe's revenge. Chapter 807. Lingji's words caused Yu Chongshan, Maha, and the 3 demon sovereigns' expressions to change. She was openly questioning the identity of the old goat. It could even be said that she was insulting him. Sister Lingji, you've gone too far. Yu Chongshan said with some dissatisfaction. Leader Ling, the demon saint is the divine general under the war god. His descendants should be respected by the 4 tribes. You've disappointed us. Ma also shook his head. How dare you? Lingji, it's fine if you scold us, but you dare to scold the young master? Do you really think we won't dare to kill you? Demon Venerable Bai Zhe, Demon Venerable Divine Crane, and Demon Venerable Domineering Tiger were all enraged. Their eyes were filled with fury as they locked onto Lingji. Good. Very good. Black-furred beast? Leader Lingji, are you courting death? The old goat's eyes flashed coldly as he laughed out loud. The murderous intent on his face grew thicker. Holy Son, please calm down. Sister Lingji did not mean it. Please don't lower yourself to her level. Yu Chongshan knew that something was wrong and quickly pleaded with the old goat. Ling Xiao did not say anything and just watched coldly. For some reason, Ling Xiao felt a very familiar aura from Lingji, but he didn't know where this familiar feeling came from. This is the aura of the War God Temple. This Lingji's aura is very similar to that of the White Tiger Guardian King. Could she be one of the 4 Guardian Kings? Ling Xiao suddenly thought of something. His eyes widened as he thought to himself. The 3 demon sovereigns were all ferocious. The murderous intent that filled the air made Lingji's eyes flash. She also knew that if she continued to fight, she would not be able to get away with it. Lingji coldly snorted and gave the old goat a deep look before turning his head away. Seeing that the old goat was about to explode, Ling Xiao quickly said, "Don't be in a hurry to deal with her. There's something wrong with this Lingji. I suspect that she's related to the War God Temple." War God Temple? Was he really a traitor who lived off one person while helping another? Let's just kill her today. The old goat was enraged as murderous intent filled his body. This isn't a good place to fight. If we kill Lingji now, we won't have any evidence. I'm afraid we'll offend Yu Chongshan and Maha and force them to join hands to deal with the demon tribe. That would be unwise. Let's keep her alive and wait for her to give herself away. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Alright, if this wretch is really from the War God Temple, then she's dead for sure. Even the War God Temple won't be able to save her. Old Goat is clearly very depressed. However, he also knows that this is not a good time to make a move. Big brother Yu, big brother Mo He, I'll take my leave first. Let's meet again when the temple opens. There was no point in staying any longer. Lingji coldly snorted and said goodbye to Maha and Yu Chongshan before leading the spirit tribe away. Your Highness, I'll take my leave now. Please don't lower yourself to Lingji's level. I'll try to persuade her. She's just too stubborn because of her father and grandfather's death. Yu Chongshan sighed. Holy Son, I'll take my leave too. Ma also said to Old Goat. After Lingji left, Yu Chongshan and Maha also took their leave. Before leaving, Yu Chongshan also asked Ling Xiao if he wanted to return with them. Ling Xiao told Yu Chongshan that he would return to the Moon City after the matters in the Demon City were settled. After the three tribes left, Old Goat couldn't help but ask, Ling Xiao, is that Lingji really from the War God Temple? I'm just guessing. It's very likely that she's one of the 4 great guardian kings of the War God Temple, but I can't be sure. We still have to find evidence. Ling Xiao said slowly. What? War God Temple? That traitorous bitch, we should have killed her just now. Tyrant Tiger Demon Venerable's temper was the most explosive. When he heard Ling Xiao say that Lingji was from the War God Temple, he couldn't help but curse. Everyone calm down. Whether Lingji is from the War God Temple or not, we'll know when the Flowing Time Temple opens. Old Goat said slowly. Ling Xiao, you're finally out. At this moment, Mu Xian's incomparably surprised voice suddenly entered Ling Xiao's mind. Mu Xian? Ling Xiao was slightly taken aback. He had almost forgotten about this guy from the Tomb King City. He didn't expect that after half a year, this guy was still stubbornly waiting. It must have been hard on him. Old Goat led the 3 venerables to consolidate the forces of the Demon City while Ling Xiao flew out of the city. On a mountain peak outside the Demon City, Mu Xian's eyes were filled with incomparable joy. Ling Xiao, you're finally out. I've waited for more than half a year and almost gave up. But I knew that you were lucky and wouldn't die in the hands of the illusory demon tree. Where's the stone tablet? Quickly take it out for me to see. Mu Xian hurriedly said. I was delayed for a bit in the Demon Saint Palace, but fortunately, I've obtained the stone tablet. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. With a flash of light in his hand, the ancient stone tablet appeared in the void. The stone tablet had a chaotic color, ancient and mysterious. A mysterious scripture was engraved on it, flowing with traces of fate. After looking at it, Ling Xiao confirmed that it was indeed the 9th chapter of Destiny. Haha, this is the stone tablet, I've finally found it. Mu Xian's face was filled with incomparable ecstasy as he reached out to take the stone tablet. But with a flash of light in Ling Xiao's palm, the stone tablet was immediately put away by Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao, what is the meaning of this? Mu Xian's expression was somewhat ugly. Mu Xian, I said that I would help you find the 9th chapter of Destiny, but I didn't say that I would give this stone tablet to you, right? I will make a copy of the 9th chapter for you, so don't even think about this stone tablet. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Mu Xian didn't give up and said, Ling Xiao, this stone tablet only records the 9th chapter of Destiny. There's nothing special about it, and it's also not a treasure. Just give it to me. In the future, you will be an esteemed guest of the Tomb King City. Whether it's supreme weapons, supreme pills, or godly medicines. As long as you're willing, we can exchange them with you. Mu Xian, you're still hiding it from me. If I'm not wrong, what your Tomb King city cares about the most isn't the 9th chapter of destiny, but this stone tablet. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as a trace of light flashed in his eyes. Ling Zhao's words were like a thunderclap, causing Mu Xian's expression to change. How did you know? I guessed. Chapter 808. It was because Mu Xian was too anxious that Ling Xiao couldn't help but suspect that there was some secret hidden within the stone tablet. Moreover, the 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate was recorded on the tablet. When Ling Xiao obtained the tablet, he already had his suspicions. To be treasured by the Beast Overlord and placed together with the Beast Overlord's divine blood and a divine herb, it definitely wasn't as simple as the 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate. Mu Xian laughed bitterly and said, Ling Xiao, as expected, nothing can be hidden from your eyes. The 9th chapter of Heavenly Mandate is indeed very important to my Tomb King city, but this tablet is even more important. What do you mean? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. Mu Xian said, this matter is the highest secret of our Tomb King city. It was also told to me by my great-grandfather. This stone tablet is called the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet. There are a total of 9 of them and they contain the Heavenly Dao. More importantly, if you can gather all 9 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets, you can forcefully open the door to the God world and enter it. What? 9 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets and you can enter the God world? Ling Zhao's eyes widened. He had never heard of such a secret before. Now, Ling Xiao could already confirm that it was very likely due to the invasion of the extraterrestrial demons 1,000,000 years ago that caused some kind of unforeseen event to occur in the God realm, causing the God realm's gate to close. From then on, no one in the myriad of worlds could ascend to the God realm since 1,000,000 years ago. Even the heaven's path that Ling Xiao saw at the 5-colored sacred mountain was severed. Without ascending to the God world, there was no way to break through to the God spirit realm and obtain a long lifespan. Even Supremes could only live for 10,000 years. How could they be willing to accept that? However, this was the first time Ling Xiao heard of the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet. This information is extremely secretive. My Tomb King city only managed to obtain a few traces from the ancient ruins. The 9 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets are very likely to be items from the God world. It is unknown why they would fall into the ancient era or even the immemorial era. I dare say that in the entire War God world, there are no more than 3 holy lands that know about this. Mu Xian said honestly. This is indeed a shocking piece of news. If this news were to spread, I'm afraid all the Supremes would go crazy. That was a supreme opportunity to enter the immortal realm. Most likely, no one would be willing to miss it. Looks like the old city lord Mu Tianji is still hiding something from me. Ling Xiao looked at Mu Xian with a smile that was not a smile. Mu Xian smiled bitterly and said, Ling Xiao, this matter is too serious. Great-grandfather is also more cautious, so please don't blame him. It's all right. I'm very curious, since the Tomb King city knows about the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet, I'm afraid they have already obtained it? Ling Xiao asked. That's right. My Tomb King city obtained 1 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet. The Great Lightning Tomb Temple has 2, and the War God Temple should have 4. Including the one in your hands, there are a total of 8 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablets. There is still one more that is still missing. Mu Xian didn't hide anything and told him everything. There are already 8 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets? No wonder the successor of the War God Hall and Buddhist Sun Kasayapa fought over this stone steel. Ling Xiao thought back to the Beast Saint Palace. The successor of the War God Hall and Buddhist Sun Kasayapa both had their own ulterior motives. At that time, Ling Xiao was puzzled. The 9th chapter of Heaven's Mandate could be comprehended together. Why did they have to fight? So what they cared about the most wasn't the 9th chapter of Heaven's Mandate, but the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet. Why is the 9th chapter of Heaven's Mandate recorded on the Primal Chaos Tablet? Ling Xiao looked at Mu Xian and asked. I'm not sure about this. I don't know why the Beast Saint left behind the 9th chapter of Heaven's Mandate. But the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet that our Tomb King city obtained, there was nothing left on it. Mu Xian said, Ling Xiao, now that you know about the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet, can you sell it to our Tomb King city? No matter what the conditions are, our Tomb King city will agree. Mu Xian looked at Ling Xiao fervently and said. Ling Xiao looked at Mu Xian and didn't agree immediately. Instead, he asked, Mu Xian, even if we gather all 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets and can open the door to the God world, we are still missing the last one. And even if we find the last one, can Tomb King City snatch the remaining heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet from the Great Lightning Tune Temple and War God Hall? Mu Xian said, the Great Lightning Tune Temple and War God Hall are powers that have existed for hundreds of thousands or even millions of years. They are unfathomable. Although our Tomb King city isn't afraid of them, to snatch the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet from their hands is basically impossible. But we can work together and open the door to the God world together. Ling Xiao, we can leave a slot for you. According to what you said, even if there are 9 heavenly Tao primal chaos tablets to open the door to the God world, there is a limit to the number of slots? No wonder they didn't want to spread this news. When the time comes, for a slot to enter the God world, I'm afraid everyone will fight. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Although I don't want to admit it, it is the truth. Mu Xian nodded. I'm sorry, Mu Xian. I can give you the 9th piece of destiny, but I still want to study the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet. Since you said it, when the time comes, everyone will work together. The problem is to find the 9th piece of heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet first. Ling Xiao looked at Mu Xian and rejected him directly. Although he was already mentally prepared, Mu Xian was still disappointed. He could only sigh and say, all right. It's fine if you don't want to give me the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet, but you have to be careful of War God Hall's successor and Buddhist disciple Jia Yi. They already know that the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet is with you. Even if they can't do anything to you in the time cave, once you leave, they will definitely harm you. War God Hall's successor and Buddhist disciple Jia Yi? I will be careful. Many thanks. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. In the end, he gave a copy of the 9th piece of destiny to Mu Xian. Mu Xian left Demon City and used a secret technique to leave the time cave. He came here for the 9th piece of destiny and the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet, not for the Heaven's Choice Convention. Since he had succeeded, there was no need for him to stay. Ling Xiao stood on the peak of the mountain, the wind blowing around him, blowing his hair. Ling Xiao had a thoughtful look in his eyes. Ling Xiao, I didn't expect that stone tablet to be the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet. This is truly an earth-shattering piece of news. Beside Ling Xiao, the void rippled like water and the old goat silently walked out. So when Ling Xiao saw Mu Xian, the old goat secretly followed him. Chapter 809. Nope. The old goat shook his head and said, when I was in the holy ground, I received the old man's inheritance. The old man only mentioned the demon tribe in the time cave and the illusory demon ancient tree. As for these 3 treasures, he didn't leave behind any useful information. After saying that, the old goat took out the demon saint's divine blood and the divine medicine. The demon saint's divine blood looked like a dazzling sun, exuding a vigorous and majestic aura. This was a drop of real divine blood. Not only could it increase the old goat's cultivation, but it could also make his bloodline stronger. As for the divine medicine, it looked like a ginseng. Its entire body was as white as jade, and its roots could pierce through the void to absorb energy. It was very strange. It contained a majestic power of essence, but it did not have the slightest bit of intelligence. Could this be the legendary witchcraft snow ginseng? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought of a legendary divine medicine. The witchcraft snow ginseng was said to be too heaven-defying and was restricted by the laws of heaven. It couldn't develop spiritual intelligence at all. It had to go through a minor tribulation every 1,000 years and a major tribulation every 10,000 years. It would take 100,000 years for it to grow into a supreme divine medicine. Therefore, the witchcraft snow ginseng that could become a divine medicine had only appeared in legends. The witchcraft snow ginseng could increase the possibility of becoming a titled honorable. Even Long Lai and Fire Phoenix Supreme took a few thousand years to break through from the 9th level Supreme realm to the titled honorable. This showed how difficult it was to become a titled honorable. However, this witchcraft snow ginseng could allow a 9th level Supreme realm expert to become a titled honorable. Witchcraft snow ginseng, hee, good stuff. Looks like it won't be long before I can recover the cultivation of my previous life and become a titled honorable. Ling Xiao, I might even be ahead of you. Pa. The old goat said proudly. In his previous life, he was only a 9th level Supreme realm expert and didn't become a titled honorable. Looking at the current situation, it wouldn't be long before the old goat could cultivate to the 9th level Supreme realm. At that time, with the witchcraft snow ginseng, he could become a titled honorable. Yes, this witch spirit snow ginseng is indeed a good thing. Ling Xiao smiled. He was a titled supreme warrior in his previous life. Although he was reborn, his realm was still there. It might be difficult for others to break through to the titled realm, but for Ling Xiao, it was not difficult at all. The Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet appeared in Ling Xiao's palm. The Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was covered in a gray primal chaos light. It was ancient and mottled, and on top of it were ancient runes with the 9th chapter of Heaven's Will. Can the legendary Heaven's Will secret law, the 9 chapters of Heaven's Will, be able to change fate? Why did the old man leave the 9th chapter on the tablet? The old goat was curious. Looking at the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet in front of him, Ling Xiao had a feeling that there might be some secret hidden within. Ling Xiao suddenly had an epiphany, and he began to circulate the Great Fate Divination technique. A mysterious power of destiny began to spread out. Rumble. The Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet in front of him began to tremble, and it emitted a mysterious aura. It actually formed a mysterious resonance with the Great Fate Divination technique. On the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet, there seemed to be a mysterious world hidden within. Heaven and earth trembled, and 9 mysterious scrolls appeared in front of Ling Xiao. They flowed with a mysterious power, as though they were describing the laws of heaven and earth. This is the 9 chapters of Heaven's Will? Ling Xiao was shocked. The 9 scrolls in front of him, from the general outline to the 9th chapter of Heaven's Will, were completely presented in front of Ling Xiao. It turned out that this Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet actually recorded the complete 9 chapters of Heaven's Will. Ling Xiao stood there in a daze. The 9 chapters of Heaven's Will instantly merged into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness, becoming one with the Great Fate Divination technique. The Great Fate Divination technique was originally incomparably mysterious. It was a supreme technique left behind by the high priest of the Shura race. However, Ling Xiao did not expect it to be related to the 9 chapters of Heaven's Will. At this moment, the wordless heavenly book began to tremble, and a mysterious light spread out. The 9 chapters of Heaven's Will, the Great Fate Divination technique, and the wordless heavenly book formed a mysterious resonance. Rumble. The wordless heavenly scripture devoured the illusion demon ancient tree and was about to form the next supreme art. However, the 9 chapters of Heaven's Mandate and the Heaven's Mandate art merged into the scripture like a ray of light. On the second page of the wordless heavenly book, a few ancient and mysterious words appeared. Second Heaven Star Border, Secret Technique of Destiny. Incomplete. The wordless heavenly book dimmed as the energy that it had devoured from the illusion demon ancient tree was suddenly depleted. It was as though the wordless heavenly book had used up a lot of energy to form this secret technique. Ling Xiao frowned slightly. He originally thought that the power of the illusory demon ancient tree would at least be able to condense one of the top 10 secret arts in the heavenly star border realm. In the end, it had indeed condensed the second-ranked secret art of destiny, but it was incomplete. Ling Xiao could feel that this secret technique of destiny was only 1/10 complete. It was incomplete by more than half. The Great Fate Divination technique and the 9 chapters of Heaven's Will were all part of the secret technique of destiny. It was no wonder that they could form a resonance with the wordless heavenly book. Unaffected by reincarnation, untainted by karma, transcending the heavenly Tao, immortal and indestructible. The opening of the secret technique of destiny was just these words. It emitted a power that made the world tremble, and even Ling Xiao's soul trembled. Unaffected by reincarnation, untainted by karma, transcending the heavenly Tao, immortal and indestructible. I'm afraid that even gods can't do this. This secret technique of destiny is truly terrifying, but it's a pity that I can't comprehend it at all. Ling Xiao smiled bitterly as he muttered to himself. The secret technique of destiny was too mysterious. Even 1/10 of it wasn't something that Ling Xiao could comprehend right now. Ling Xiao could vaguely feel that after he obtained the secret technique of destiny, his entire body suddenly relaxed, as though he had broken free from some kind of shackle. Compared to the secret technique of destiny, the 9 chapters of Heaven's Will and the Great Fate Divination technique were also very difficult to comprehend, but they were much easier to comprehend. Ling Xiao originally felt that this Heaven's Choice convention would be a situation of 9 deaths and 1 life, but after he obtained the secret technique of destiny, that feeling of danger was greatly reduced. It's too mysterious. Perhaps even gods can't grasp the power of destiny. I wonder what the origin of this wordless heavenly book is. Ling Xiao thought to himself. Even a supreme divine tool was nothing in front of the wordless heavenly book. Chapter 8:10. Ling Xiao, is there something wrong with this primal chaos tablet? Old Goat asked curiously. He saw Ling Xiao activate the Heaven Dao primal chaos tablet and countless streams of light entered Ling Xiao's body. In this Heaven Dao primal chaos tablet, there is the complete 9 writings of destiny. Ling Xiao told the Old Goat the news he received. 9 writings of destiny? It's only said to be able to change the fate of Tomb King City and Feng Shui families, but it's not accurate. Ling Xiao, the Heaven's Choice Conference is about to begin. We have to hurry. Old Goat immediately lost interest when he heard about the 9 writings of destiny and changed the topic. You want to participate in the Heaven's Choice Conference too? Ling Xiao looked at Old Goat with some surprise. Of course. Do you think the War God Temple is hosting the Heaven's Choice Conference? In reality, the Heaven's Choice Conference is a training ground left behind by the Scarlet Dragon War God to find his successor. There are endless fortunes inside, even sovereigns can obtain great benefits. It's said that no one has been able to reach the end of the Heaven's Choice Conference. But if you obtain the wordless heavenly book, you might be able to become the successor of the Scarlet Dragon War God. At that time, you'll be able to command the 4 great tribes. Old Goat said slowly. I also thought of this point. The War God Temple has been hosting the Heaven's Choice Conference and promised so many benefits. Of course, it's not to benefit others. I'm afraid it's all for the Scarlet Dragon War God's inheritance. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as a trace of sharpness appeared in his eyes. It seemed that he would have to go against the War God Temple sooner or later. There were still a few months before the Heaven's Choice Conference began. Although this place was a few million miles away from the War God Temple, with the strength of a titled sovereign, he could quickly reach the Flowing Time Temple by tearing through the void. Thus, Ling Xiao prepared to return to the City of the Moon and meet up with Old Goat, Phoenix Maiden, and Moon Goddess. Then, he would find Long Zhantian and the others and go to the Flowing Time Temple together. After Old Goat finished dealing with the matters of Demon City, the 3 demon sovereigns gathered the remaining experts of Demon City. This time, the demon tribe could be said to have suffered heavy losses. Besides those who died at the hands of the geniuses and those who were killed by the demon Saint's scepter, there were less than 10,000 people left. However, all of them were the elites of Demon City, and merely the experts at the Monarch Realm and above numbered over 1,000. The Old Goat ordered the 3 demon venerables to integrate the experts of Demon City according to the situation of the secular army and set up a large spirit gathering formation to cultivate. According to Ling Xiao and the Old Goat's conjecture, if the Flowing Time Temple really wanted to choose the successor of the Scarlet Dragon War God, then there would definitely be a battle between the Flowing Time Temple and the War God Temple. Ling Xiao and the Old Goat returned to the City of the Moon. In the City of the Moon, Ling Xiao saw Yu Chongshan, but found that Long Outyen, Moon God, and Phoenix Lady had already left. Young friend Ling, I didn't expect them to leave the city of the moon. When I came back, they had already left and left you a letter. Yu Chongshan said as he handed Ling Xiao a letter left behind by Long Outyin. Ling Xiao opened the letter and saw a few lines of crooked words written on it. Cousin, the matter is urgent, so I took my 2 sisters-in-law and left first. Big brother and the others found a divine spring, and when they were cultivating, they were ambushed by those bastards from Emperor Tomb Mountain and were trapped there. The situation is extremely dangerous, so I went to save Big Brother. This is the map that Big Brother sent me. If you come back, come look for us. This time, I'll definitely slaughter those bastards from Emperor Tomb Mountain. That little bastard is getting more and more presumptuous. Long Outyin is trapped, and the 3 of them have only just passed the Earth tribulation. What can they do? Ling Zhao's face instantly darkened, and he was furious at Long Outyin's recklessness. Ling Xiao suppressed the worry in his heart and hurriedly asked, Patriarch Yu, how long has it been since they left? Did something happen? They left 3 days ago. If there's anything you need help with, don't hesitate to ask. Yu Chongshan didn't know the contents of the letter and said to Ling Xiao, Many thanks, Patriarch Yu. I can deal with this matter myself. I'll take my leave first. Goodbye. Ling Xiao said to Yu Chongshan and immediately left the city of the moon with the old goat. This place is more than 300,000 miles away from the city of the moon. With Outyin speed, even if they fly at full speed, it will take nearly 3 days. I hope we can make it in time. Ling Xiao said slowly. The old goat said, Don't worry. Long Outyin is an eccentric brat. He shouldn't be in any danger. Let's go now, and we should be able to reach soon. Kacha. The demon saint waved his scepter, and the void instantly split open. Ling Xiao and the old goat stepped into the void and rushed towards the location recorded on the map. Tearing the void and using the greater teleportation technique was hundreds of times faster than flying. In less than 2 hours, Ling Xiao and the old goat crossed 300,000 miles and arrived at an unfamiliar mountain range. Ling Xiao and the old goat stood in the void, and below them was an endless mountain range. The mountains towered into the sky, but there was no vegetation in the mountain range. It was barren and emitted a blazing aura. Rumble! There was a mountain in the distance that suddenly spewed out a huge stream of magma. Immediately, smoke billowed, and heaven and earth trembled. An incomparably hot aura rushed towards them. This was actually a volcanic mountain range. Let's go! Ling Xiao and the old goat concealed their auras and turned into streaks of light, flying rapidly in the direction of the divine spring pool. In a huge valley, 3 huge volcanoes, at least 10,000 feet tall, emitted a brown light and spewed out bright flames. At the intersection of the 3 volcanoes, this valley was formed. The valley was filled with red clouds, and the spiritual energy was incomparably abundant. At the center of the valley was an ancient stone pool. The stone pool was 30 feet wide, and the pool was filled with golden divine spring. It looked crystal clear, like nectar, and emitted an intoxicating fragrance. Long Zhantian, Li Jingming, and Lin Hui sat cross-legged in the stone pool, looking very miserable. Their faces were extremely pale, and the corners of their mouths were full of blood. Especially Long Zhantian, who had a large hole in his chest. He had suffered heavy injuries. Above the stone pool, a red ancient cauldron floated. It was dazzling and emitted a gorgeous light. Strands of runes fell down, forming a powerful barrier that enveloped the 3 of them. Li Jingming and Lin Hui were pouring their energy into the ancient cauldron to maintain the barrier. Rumble! Chapter 8:11. The leader was a middle-aged man in a white robe. His gaze was indifferent and his aura was powerful. His entire body exuded a terrifying supreme being aura. The middle-aged man in a white robe was already a 6th-level supreme being. It was his attack that caused the barrier to tremble violently as if it would shatter at any time. Beside the middle-aged man in a white robe stood 2 dignified and extraordinary young men. One of them was in a black robe. His black hair fluttered in the wind and his eyes were filled with killing intent. His entire body exuded a mysterious death chi. The other was a burly young man in a red armor. His eyes were radiant as he looked at the stone pool in front of him. His eyes were filled with passion. Both of them were half-step supreme beings of the four symbols tribulation. They were using powerful techniques to attack the stone pool. Rumble! A fire phoenix flew out from the red ancient cauldron, exuding blazing flames. The runes on the barrier shone brightly and blocked all the attacks. However, Li Jingming and Lin Hui's faces were pale. They were like arrows at the end of their flight and could not hold on for long. Brother Li, Brother Lin, I am the one who dragged you down. If you wanted to save me, you wouldn't have stayed here to die. Long Zhantian smiled bitterly as his eyes were filled with guilt. Long Zhantian, what nonsense are you talking about? If you didn't protect us and block their sneak attack, we wouldn't have suffered such heavy injuries. Li Jingming glared at him and said coldly, That's right. Brother Long, Ling Xiao will definitely come to save us. With his strength, he will definitely have a way to escape. Lin Hui also said. Long Zhantian smiled bitterly and shook his head. That's impossible. That is a 6th-level supreme being. Even if Ling Xiao came, he would not be a match for him. Brothers, I am the one who dragged you down. If the barrier is broken later, I will commit suicide. I will not let the bastards of Emperor Tomb Mountain and Nantian family succeed. Long Zhantian's eyes were filled with determination. The young man in a black robe was the first holy son of Emperor Tomb Mountain. The young man in red armor was an expert of Nantian family, Nantian Fong. After Long Zhantian, Li Jingming, and Lin Hui separated from Ling Xiao, the three of them stayed together in the time cave to gain experience. They killed vicious beasts and sharpened their cultivation. They had found this divine spring by accident. It was formed by a trace of divine power from a godly spirit master. It had merged with the dragon vein of the earth, forming a divine spring that would not stop gushing. Long Zhantian and the other two were cultivating in the divine spring pool. Long Zhantian was the first to break through, passing the four symbols tribulation. However, 3 days ago, when Long Zhantian was protecting Li Jingming and Lin Hui, the first holy son of the Emperor Tomb Mountain, Nantian Fong of the Nantian family, suddenly appeared with a group of experts and launched a sneak attack. If it was only the first saint and Nantian Fong, Long Zhantian would not be afraid. However, they had brought along a supreme being expert, the white-robed middle-aged man. His strength was extremely terrifying. Even though Long Zhantian had taken out his supreme weapon, he was still no match for the white-robed middle-aged man. In the end, Long Zhantian was severely injured by the white-robed middle-aged man in order to protect Li Jingming and Lin Hui. However, he had also bought time for Lin Hui and Li Jingming, allowing them to successfully pass the four symbols tribulation. Lin Hui and Li Jingming had activated the defensive barrier around the divine spring pool. Lin Hui had even taken out the Fire Phoenix Divine Cauldron, a powerful supreme weapon, to suppress the eye of the formation. Only then could they barely withstand the white-robed middle-aged man's attack. However, 3 days had passed, and Lin Hui and Li Jingming were on the verge of exhaustion. Their cultivations had been completely depleted, and it would not be long before the spirit boundary would be broken. Long Zhantian, Li Jingming, Lin Hui, the enchantment is about to be broken. I advise you to obediently surrender and avoid physical pain. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you'll be killed by me. Don't blame me. The first saint looked indifferently at Long Zhantian and the other two, his voice incomparably cold. Your Highness the first saint, what is there to say to them? Just kill them all. So many experts of the Emperor Tomb Mountain and the Nantian family died in the hands of that despicable and shameless Ling Xiao. They are all accomplices and deserve to die. Nantian Fong's eyes were blazing with killing intent. Although he looked very young, he was actually more than 1,000 years old. In the Holy Ground, the Nantian Sky King, who was killed by Ling Xiao, was his favorite grandson. Nantian Fong hated Ling Xiao to the extreme. Naturally, he did not have a good impression of Long Zhantian and the others. He wanted to kill them as soon as possible. Lord Lingyu, we originally wanted to use these three as bait to lure Ling Xiao out. Unexpectedly, 3 days have passed and Ling Xiao still hasn't appeared. Since that's the case, I'll have to ask Lord Lingyu to take action and break this barrier. The three of them no longer have any value. The first saint looked at the white-robed middle-aged man beside him and smiled slightly. Okay. Lingyu nodded as a trace of sharpness appeared in his eyes. Boom. He took a step forward. Immediately, heaven and earth trembled. An incomparably terrifying aura spread out. He punched out, and a terrifying fist print landed on the barrier in front of him. In the past 3 days, they had indeed not tried their best to attack the enchantment. The reason was that the first saint wanted to lure Ling Xiao out and then let Ling Yu kill him. Unexpectedly, Ling Xiao had not appeared after 3 days. The first saint had also lost his patience. Gotcha! The barrier trembled violently. The fire phoenix cauldron in the void also began to shake. The originally incomparably sturdy barrier was like a mirror as it exploded with a loud bang. Li Jingming and Lin Hui suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Their aura instantly weakened, and a trace of despair appeared in their eyes. Emperor Tomb Mountain, Nanton family, even if this crown prince dies, I will drag you down with me. Long Zhantian's eyes revealed a trace of madness. The aura around his body became incomparably violent. He actually wanted to self-destruct. The self-destruction of a half-step supreme being tribulation of 4 symbols would probably turn a few hundred miles of land into dust. Not to mention that Long Zhantian was a member of the Dragon Clan. With the Dragon Clan's bloodline, his strength was even more terrifying. At this moment, a terrifying dragon's roar exploded above the void. A dazzling golden true dragon soared through the sky, exuding a monstrous dragon's aura. It turned into an incomparably resplendent fist print, as if it had enveloped the heaven and earth. It blasted towards the white-robed middle-aged man, Lingyu. You bunch of bastards, how dare you sneak attack my big brother? Are you courting death? An incomparably arrogant voice resounded in the void, carrying an insufferably arrogant aura. It was a little boy of 8 or 9 years old. He looked like he was carved out of jade and was very cute. At this moment, his eyes were wide open, and his gaze was filled with anger as he soared through the sky. Out Yen! Long Zhantian's body trembled, and his eyes revealed a trace of incomparable surprise. However, he immediately shouted, Out Yen, you and Ling Xiao quickly leave. You are not their opponent. Don't worry about us. Chapter 8:12. Big brother, my cousin isn't here, but I can save you myself. This bunch of trash can't do anything to me. Long Outyen's eyes were filled with arrogance. Since you're here, don't leave. Lingyu's eyes revealed a tinge of indifference. Facing the gigantic dragon in the sky, he threw out a punch as well. It was as though a mysterious world was rising, exuding a boundless aura, trying to suppress the gigantic dragon. Rumble! When the two fists collided, the space shook violently as if a divine sun had exploded. The terrifying dragon roar was boundless, and it shattered at the same time as the mysterious world. Chaotic energy lingered in the air, and the space rumbled. Long Outyen and Lingyu both trembled and retreated at the same time. What? Not only the first Holy Sun and Nan Tianfang, but even Long Zhantian, Lin Hui, and Li Jingming were in disbelief. Long Outyen was on par with Lingyu? One should know that Lingyu was a level 6 Supreme Realm expert, and he was not someone an ordinary Supreme Realm expert could compare to. He was extremely powerful. However, the first Holy Sun and Nan Tianfang's expressions were extremely ugly. Long Zhantian, Lin Hui, and Li Jingming were pleasantly surprised. How is this possible? That little brat is only 8 or 9 years old, and he has already cultivated to the tribulation of 1 elephant. He can actually be on par with Lord Lingyu? The first Holy Sun could not hide the shock in his eyes, and his expression was extremely ugly. He knew that there was a peerless genius in the East Sea Crystal Palace who possessed the bloodline of the real dragon. However, he did not expect him to be so terrifying. With such talent, even the saints and supreme talents of the ancient times would be amazed. This bastard-proud heaven is simply unbelievable. However, he is only a half-step Supreme Realm expert, and the gap between him and Ling Yu is too big. I'm afraid it will be difficult for him to win. Although Long Zhantian was excited, his eyes were filled with worry. Lord Ling Yu, this person is the crown prince of the dragon tribe, and he possesses the bloodline of the real dragon. If we can extract his bloodline, it will be of great use to Lord Ling Yu. Lord Ling Yu, you must not let him go. The first saint's eyes flashed coldly as he hurriedly shouted at Ling Yu. True dragon bloodline? Brat, your strength is indeed not bad, but you don't have the qualifications to be arrogant. When Ling Yu heard the words of the first saint, a greedy look flashed across her eyes. Glancing at Long Outyin, she dashed over immediately. Rumble! Ling Yu's palm struck out like a peerless heavenly blade. Its sharpness was unparalleled, containing the power to destroy everything. Hee, old man, how dare you be so arrogant in front of me, Long Outyin? See if I don't beat you to death today. Long Outyin laughed coldly as he charged towards Ling Yu fearlessly. Rumble! This violent little boy had completely gone berserk. He used the 10,000 dragons god-slaying technique. The power of his bloodline merged with the laws of heaven and earth, turning into a true dragon that was tens of thousands of feet long. It provided him with terrifying power, and he attacked Ling Yu with his physical strength alone. Previously, in the underground cave, Ling Xiao had only obtained a trace of the divine dragon bloodline. Most of the bloodline power had been devoured by Long Outyin. In his bloodline, there was a faint five-colored radiance that was like a gushing divine spring. It was endless, and it made his physical body extremely terrifying. He could even fight against a sovereign weapon. It could be said that Long Outyin's physical strength was not much weaker than Ling Xiao's. Rumble! The battle between Long Outyin and Ling Yu had suddenly become extremely intense. Kill the three of them first. Nan Tianfang's eyes flashed as killing intent filled his body. He was about to charge towards Long Zhantian and the other two. Swoosh, swoosh. At that moment, two dazzling lights appeared before Long Zhantian and the other two at an extremely fast speed. Yueshan, who was dressed in a long white robe and had black hair like a waterfall, held the Taiyin ancient sword in her hand. Her cold and peerless face was filled with coldness. Phoenix Woman, who was dressed in a black dress, had a voluptuous figure and jade-like skin. She was like a peerless beauty, exuding an aura that made one's heart beat faster. She held the phoenix tail flaming sky fan in her hand and was surrounded by black flames. Everyone, I advise you not to take action. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. Phoenix Woman's eyes were cold as she spoke slowly. Moon Saint Lady of the Taiyin Palace and Fairy Feng of the Blazing Mountain? Since the two of you are here, I'm afraid Ling Xiao is here too. Ask Ling Xiao to come out. Otherwise, the two of you will not be able to stop us. The first Holy Sun's eyes flashed as he recognized Yueshan and Phoenix Woman's identities. He looked around cautiously and said, after all, Ling Xiao was a peerless expert who was ranked 10th on the Green Cloud roll. He had once killed a sovereign. Even the first Holy Sun had to be cautious. The two of you are not worthy of Ling Xiao to take action. If you know what's good for you, get lost. Phoenix Woman said coldly. If that's the case, Ling Xiao is not here? Two half-step sovereigns who are merely one elephant tribulation dare to stop us? You must be tired of living. The first Holy Sun sneered. First Holy Sun, I heard that the two of them are Ling Xiao's women. Why don't we take one each? I will train them well. When we capture Ling Xiao, we will play with them in front of him. That will be the best revenge against Ling Xiao. Nan Tianfang's eyes were cold as he spoke. Very well. Elder Nanshan's idea is not bad. Let's do it this way. We will take one each. Let's see who can deal with them first. Yueshan is mine. The first Holy Sun's eyes flashed as he looked at Yueshan. He sneered and instantly charged forward. You must be tired of living. Yueshan and Phoenix Woman's eyes turned cold. Rumble. Yueshan exuded an extremely cold aura. The Taiyin ancient sword in her hand was extremely sharp as it slashed down at the first Holy Sun. The Taiyin ancient sword? It's a pity that you can't unleash the power of the Taiyin ancient sword. Give it to me. The first holy son sneered. Black light filled his palm as if it had turned into a black iron claw that grabbed at the Taiyin ancient sword. Boom! Yueshin's Taiyin ancient sword collided with the iron claw. Sparks flew everywhere. The iron claw in the first holy son's hand was also a powerful sovereign weapon. The iron claw in the first holy son's hand flashed as he seized the opportunity to grab hold of the Taiyin ancient sword. His other hand slammed toward Yueshin. Buzz! Yueshin's eyes flashed. She pointed her finger like a sword and a moonlight sword energy shot out. It was extremely sharp and contained the power to pierce through everything. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.